Are you okay? Are you going? Are you
I
gonna
haven't.
die?
Oh,
Sorry, Mary.
that's not good.
Oh no! Are you going to be okay?
I'm sure the green screen is gonna protect you.
Going to be.
Am I the only one hearing the delayed echo like that? No, it's broken. Like I said.
Please turn on your TV, sir.
Oh, it's the stream audio. Everybody
Okay.
can hear us right now. That's why I heard the
Oh.
delay. I'm a dum-dum.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. I've already begun recording. We're on in 5. All right, here we go. Ready? We're gonna clap in a few seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mary got it. Everyone else was like, okay, on the beat of 1, everybody. On the beat of 1, we're all gonna say sync. That's impossible. The time delay on the video would be too, like, you'd be like, we have to do it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sing. I wanted to make sure everybody saw us stream this, so, you know. Yeah. It's fine. Wow, okay. Storm's a brewing. Storm's a brewing. Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna go. Ooh. Here we go. Pop, here we go.
We've been live already, so I don't really need it.
I mean,
Start with it, like,
you do need to start. It's fine.
I mean, I guess since I'll probably cut off the audio for before this. And
Just cut your intro right now. Just cut a hot intro right now, and then nobody will know. Nobody's gonna watch this. It's fine. Just cut it on the back. And, like, I've done that once or twice.
Are you saying I should create a new intro separately, and then cut it in? Just cut this part out. That I'll make an intro. After this, after all of you leave, so then I just cut it in right here. Trying to say. And then I add a bunch of cool effects in it too to make it all professional. Is that what we're trying to say?
A lot of get like a
oh.
Oh, it's wet in a way I don't like at all.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Sorry, it was all the tofu I had.
Man, what the fuck is with you and tofu lately? By the way, can we just have a sidebar?
Oh, I thought that was like a bowl of eggs or something.
I mean, what's the difference?
Tofu and eggs don't look alike, I think.
There's
They
not
shouldn't.
really a difference.
I mean, they shouldn't, but the way they were
You know.
presented in that heaping bowl.
in the
it looks
heaping
like-
pile.
Again, it was the lighting. If I was under good
course.
lighting, it'll be much better.
I don't want to explain for our viewers, all one of you that's probably watching this, the weather is
Wow,
rapidly
fuck you.
changing. So during this podcast, my color balance is going to be all over the goddamn places I try to fix it. But just going to be honest with you, storms are brewing. And
also,
you
you're
know,
probably just listening to this as audio after the fact.
Pretty
so
much.
It doesn't really even matter, like, what we look like. Like, you wouldn't know that we're all wearing black glasses right now.
oh shit,
Like, if
I
you're
didn't
just
notice that.
listening.
Oh my god, why do we always join us every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 6
every
p.m.
Sunday.
Western. For
I wish we did this weekly because that would be terrible.
it would fall apart fast if we had to
Yes.
watch this amount of anime we watch for these every week. This would fall apart quickly.
I mean, it'll probably be like a 30-minute episode every week or an hour episode.
I'd be pulling it.
Theoretically, it would be shorter, but who knows?
Yeah.
It'd probably be better to like talk about one anime, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Eva, can we go?
Like, everybody talks about an episode of the anime they liked most past week. That would probably how I would do it, and then like we have the special episodes where we cover the season and whatnot.
So like, but like,
anyways.
seen anything good lately? Is that maybe a show you have heard of?
Sorry,
Sometimes I like talking about the garbage anime
True.
I'm watching and why it's bad, why it's very bad.
yes,
What if
exactly.
Forced to Watch was the entire show and we just force each other to watch shows over
Yes,
and over
that sounds
again
fantastic.
every single week? Every single week and just talk about them. You know, I
Why did
wouldn't
you
be
force each other
opposed.
to watch old anime.
Yeah.
For the audio listeners, I'm shaking my head very violently. No,
I'm nodding.
because
Okay.
you guys give me shit anime every time, and I don't like it.
Okay, well.
Spoilers for later, by the way.
see, well, I just disagree because you got what the fuck show did you get this week?
You give me Carol on Tuesday, so
Oh, come on now.
spoilers.
Okay, now
That
give me
show's
mix.
not bad.
that show's not bad.
You gave me mix.
It did give me
It's-
a mix.
It's interesting, so it's there. It's not last time or whatever. What did I? Like, it's not a whole girl where it's just
Okay,
absolutely
listen.
terrible.
Some point you gotta listen. I've been punished several times now. There is a level of punishment where it becomes masochism, and you guys have pushed beyond that. You're making me watch shows not good.
Actually, technically, it's sadism. Unless you really enjoy the punishment, then it's masochism.
Well, it's both, right? Because both
Yeah, I
people have
guess.
to watch the show.
True.
So
Yeah, it's true.
I experienced it last time. Actually,
Oh,
this time as
girl,
well.
it's not that bad. I'm just gonna say, put it out there. That's not that.
Okay. So, you guys talked over my cool intro, so
Hi.
we'll cut all that out.
Gotta cut all this.
Welcome to Is It
Editing
Moe?
host.
Spring 2019 ending. We're gonna play a game with y'all, folks. It's
Oh,
called
no.
it's called the Isekai quiz.
All right, here we go.
Isekai. So next season, there's 4 Isekai shows. So
Finally,
I would
something I'm ready
argue
for.
More than that.
Are you gonna show us 4 images of the village?
So-
that this guy's
Yes!
in?
So
How to
there's-
differentiate.
There's technically like, a lot of fantasy. There's a couple of fantasy animes too, but I think if you're saying person gets transported to another world, that's fantasy. There's technically 4, I think. Anyways, so I'm gonna assign everybody their Isekai show based off the description of the show.
Okay, go ahead.
So first we have Do You Love Your Mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks. A new kind of mom-com role-playing adventure. Mom-com.
Ick.
What will you do? What will you do
I
if
don't
you
like
got
that.
transported into a video game with your mom? Question mark. Question mark.
That'd be really weird for me, but all right. Probably wouldn't work out super great, but you know,
No,
Aw.
that's sad. You
the storm's
kinda
brewing.
ruined this.
The storm's brewing.
That's your dilemma facing high schooler Misitoto Asuko. Sorry, I was going to link the description in this art chat. Sorry. That's the dilemma facing high schooler Misitoto Asuko, who has been unwittingly thrown into an RPG world with his doting mother caught close behind as part of a secret government scheme. What?
Oh, okay, that's me. I'll take that one. Thank you. Over
As
here.
This sounds dumb.
Hey!
as hell.
Avid gamer.
As an avid gamer, Misato is eager to show off his skills, but that's hard
Always.
to do when your mom is an insanely
Oh, boy.
overpowered, dual-wielding, multi-target specialist. Anyways, yes, that's Albie because he's very much like a doting mother.
Well, I'm the okay. All right, I get you.
Yeah, this is you. So this is yeah. So next we have Isekai Cheat Magician.
Isekai cheat magician. Like he cheats on girls all the time. Like what can he cheat on?
One.
It's the same
Probably
one.
more he's a hacker or some
Okay.
shit.
Nishimura Tachi is a typical average high schooler, and Azuma Irene is a beautiful woman with the build of a model and excellent reflexes. The two live a normal.
That's Tuna. He's built of a model. I know that.
Hey, Albie, will you shut the fuck up? Let me do my bit, please. The two live a normal high school life until one day they suddenly enveloped in a mystery magic circle and transported to an unknown land. Weird. That world is full of terrifying monsters, beastmen, dwarves, elves, and many other races right out of fantasy. Weird. In order to survive in this new world, Tashi and Ren decide to become adventurers. Weird. But when they take the aptitude test, they discover that both passes cheat level magic. Weird.
What is cheat level magic?
What's cheat level?
Overpowered?
Listen, I played some D&D in my day, and let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They know cheat level.
So this is Mary because this is the most generic sounding one of the season.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
Holy
Wow,
shit.
shit! Just
Wow.
bam!
What?
Just
And
gotta
Mary's-
light Mary up at the beginning of this podcast. I like.
Torb is here.
And Mary's the most generic one of us. So
Wow. Thank
there
you.
you go. Yes.
Be the
Next week-
normal
very kind.
one, so that's fine. I like being a normal person.
He's-
Instead of you
that's-
freaks.
I mean, you're
Okay. You're not wrong.
not wrong.
I'm just
You're not
joking.
wrong. I mean, I am. Look at me right now. I'm actually in an LA Noir novel. I mean, look at me right now. I mean, seriously.
I'm a fish wearing a suit.
I mean, look at this man. He's a small image of a
True.
fish wearing a suit. I mean, you can't fake that.
Next we
So
have
is the next isekai about the mayor of a box mountain with Christmas lights all over it?
close. Next we have Demon Lord Retry. Ono Akuri is a working adult that can be found anywhere. Was transported to a different world. Weird. While logged into a character known as the Demon Lord in a game he manages. There, he meets a girl with a disabled leg, and they travel.
Wait,
They-
what?
There's a girl with a disabled leg. All right.
Disabled leg, and they begin to travel.
Did
Okay.
4chan make this?
But there was no way the others will leave a demon lord with such overwhelming strength alone. Weird. While being targeted by countries and saints, they are trying to subdue the demon lord that caused turmoil wherever they go. Demon lord on the outside, normal person on the inside, a misunderstanding type of fantasy.
None of that makes any sense.
So
It's not a
I-
show. That's just like a bunch of
I-
words.
I agreed, so I skimmed through the first episode, and it's weird. Like, and also, funny enough, the girl like within the first 10 minutes, you see her bathing. So there you go.
Wow. Okay. You know what you're coming here for. They know why you're here. You know why you're watching the show. We're gonna give it to you up front. You know why you're here.
Anyways, this show is Tuna because he's the most mysterious, I think, and like maybe the most out of place. Like I'm sure in the real world, he plays magic, so it's hard for him to fit in sometimes. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Fishmen in suits. It's difficult. They play
Exactly.
Magic
It's hard to
Gathering.
hold all the cards with my fins.
I mean, absolutely. Can't imagine.
Like, I always have to call a guy to shuffle my library, so.
Man.
Yes.
It's a deep cut.
So um
So
next
anime,
is,
huh? You know?
next is our Futura. What's that word, Mary? Our Futura.
A food
I don't
pizza
think
table.
that's a real word.
A food
pizza
Body,
table.
body, pureta?
Our Furuta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Um, high schooler Hajima Nagmoto is bullied by his classmates for his relationship with the class idol Karia. When he and the rest of the class are transported to a fantasy world, weird. All of his classmates get powerful magic abilities, weird. While Hajima only gains the ability to transmute solid materials, a common ability usually found in the craftsman and smith. During a dungeon raid, he is betrayed by one of his classmates and dropped to the bottom of the dungeon. He survives the fall and creates weapons to escape the dungeon and becomes stronger. On his journey, he meets the imprisoned vampire Yoon, and later is joined by Bunny Ears, Shay, and Dragonoid Tao. This is me because I got bullied a lot. So, moving on.
Out with a bunch of lowly girls now or something?
I mean, I've always known Pop Cans to be out hunting the ladies. I know that.
You know what I mean?
Of course, you got the bunny girl.
Yeah,
course he
he's
did,
into the
okay.
monster girls, like all that stuff, so makes sense.
Yep, exactly. So now that we're at an hour in, let's talk about anime, I guess.
Fucking no. I'm here to talk about bullshit. Is what I'm here for.
This made me not want to
yeah.
talk about anime ever again after hearing all of
Let's
these
cancel
descriptions.
everything.
Yes.
And remember, those are a third of the shows next anime next season. So
Great. That's exciting.
Say closer to half. It's
extreme. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll be
it's
honest
depressing.
though. Like, there are way too many isekai shows right now. Like, just a constant stream of it. And like, I think we talked about it a bit when I was watching Shield Hero. Was that like there's just so many, and like when you find one that does something even a little bit different, it's actually kind of noteworthy. Like it's like fun to actually watch it.
Is
That's, I mean, I like Shield Hero. It was alright.
I'm just done with everything in that genre. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all a cycle, right?
Sure, it's all
They're
cyclical.
gonna go away in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
something
it's
new
like
is gonna
when
be
they
everywhere.
had all of those, like, oh, here's a specific kind of moe girl hanging out with the dude, like from the
Very
late
specific.
2000s or whatever. Like, yeah. But yeah, it sucks right now. Basically, the only difference in all these isekai shows is what's your fetish? Like, what'll make you spend money? Like, oh, do you like moms? Here's a show for you.
Yeah, and it's super easy to merchandise this stuff, right?
I mean, that's all it is. I mean, this is all just
Yeah.
we gotta make merc. We gotta make them merch.
Merch.
Merc
is
also.
when you kill someone, which
Oh.
is what I want to do to all isekai. I would hire out somebody to just
Get
yeah.
ya. I get you.
and that's not including it's if it's for my daughter, I'll even defeat a demon lord. It's not technically isekai show, but it's still.
But it's
fantasy.
basically isekai show.
It's basically isekai. Or is
So-
it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon season? This is also the season.
Is the isekai problem rooted in anime or is it light novels?
I mean,
Light
They're
novels,
mainly light novel adaptations. Yeah.
yes.
and that's
but
popular in
the-
light novels right now. And then
The fact that they want to make all these anime versions of these generic light novels is a problem, I would say.
I mean, you can.
And I would blame
sure.
light novels for those same, like, here's a fantastical moe girl that's vaguely like Haruhi, but not really. She has a different hair color or whatever. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we can all blame
Or, like,
Sword Art Online for all of this, really.
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
much.
much.
Mhm.
That's true.
So let's talk about anime.
Right. Spring
know.
is ending.
Spring has ended. The summer has come. It's 123 degrees outside right now. I'm literally melting. There's a summer storm a brewing. I've
It was 100 degrees yesterday. I left the house.
Why would you leave?
I returned like 2 things. I knew I never returned things, but I returned 2 things. Did you know you can return Amazon packages at Kohl's now?
Yeah, Gary did that the other day, and when you do it, they actually give you a coupon for Kohl's
Yeah.
afterwards too.
Yeah, I do it
So
all the
they're like,
time at my local, whatever the hell you just said.
Yep, I got my 25% off, and I got my refund like that day too. So that was thanks Kohl's, I guess. So anime. So how about the Marvel? Okay. So
What did somebody say?
Blade?
Marvel? Blade?
Sorry, that's for
I
later.
mean,
That's for later.
the new Blade is the dude who's like a bad guy in Battle Angel Alita live action movie for that. So
Demon
Also-
Slayer
Ali is
Demon
legit one
Slayer.
of my favorite actors right now, so
Yeah,
I'm
Absolutely,
really excited
very
for that.
good.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yabada. It's the latest. Not
I'm gonna
latest,
try to spell that
Is it
phonetically,
Isekai?
just so you know, for the stream.
You guys want to stop talking? I'm the host. You answer. Demon Slayer. That's the one of the hottest weekly Shonen Jump manga adaptations. It's about the guy who slays demons. So honestly, I don't want to talk about this for months because I honestly think it's barely generic. But that's like all shonen kind of like. It's like it's the most general action setup. And it only gets good if like they flesh out the characters and make the world actually interesting and whatnot. The problem with this show is I don't think the characters are good. I don't think like the world is very interesting because it's pretty much just feudal Japan with vampires, and none of it's very, I don't know.
You don't like
out.
it? Okay.
I mean, it's okay. I think it's very competently done, but I think that's basically the best thing I can say about it.
Yeah, I think.
Good.
I think if UFO Table wasn't attached to this,
Yeah.
nobody here would talk about it at all.
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
Maybe like one episode. I feel like I haven't read the manga, but I feel like the actual material they're adapting is not interesting at all.
No.
No.
But
I mean,
holy
I
shit,
like
it
it.
looks so good. Oh
So
my
fucking-
god.
oh
Did
my
you see
God.
yeah,
Fucking, oh my
it's
god.
very, very nice.
Yes, it looks very good. I think the action scenes are generally the best thing about it is for sure the action. But again, it's like
Can I say, of the action scenes I've watched this season, this is
Mhm.
clearly the best action scenes I've seen.
yes. I mean,
did you finish Dororo? Because that actually got pretty good at the end. So
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I didn't finish the Roro, so.
Me neither.
got you there. As I like the scene with the vampires with the balls and she was showing the balls.
I
And
bet you
just-
did.
Yeah, you know me. I love the lady with the 2 balls.
No, that was a
Um,
good scene. No, I agree with you. I'm not trying to bust your balls.
Thank you. Keep my balls intact, sure. Yeah, it looks good, but it's like, so the main thing is they get all these cool voice actors and all this stuff. But it's like, fuck, man, why does all the voice actors in Japan like all of them is nowadays? You have to have if you want to be a voice actor and be in about anime, you have to be one note and very enthusiastic and very
Mm-hmm.
turn up. But hey, you want
Turn.
to have any sort of like tone or any sort of like scale to how your voice works? No, we don't want that. We want you to be all on all the time. So
I mean, I would say the issue with that is that it's a Shonen Jump
Oh, yeah.
adaptation, and yeah,
They
it's
they
just-
have to go
it lends
100%.
itself to that style.
Characters
yeah.
are either loud or like super
Um,
old and wise, and that's it.
Indeed.
there's plenty of anime like that, but yes. Fruit basket mix.
Oh, we're already moving on? Okay.
No, I'm saying different examples of where I think
Oh, okay, I see what you're
there's a symptomatic problem with them.
I mean,
Voice
I'll
actor.
argue with you later
Uh,
about Fruits Basket because there are some very emotional, like understated scenes when they do backstory stuff. It's not yelling.
the main character's not yelling, but she's always. So, anyways, also the side characters, the main character, and the vampire anime I'm still talking about for some reason, they suck shit because they're supposed to be comic relief, and their comic relief is terrible and very cliche and not funny. So it's and they
like Team Rocket bullshit type stuff.
but not good. But yes, and they appear later in the core, but then you notice that once they appear, the tone starts to get less serious and more comic-y, but none of the comedy works at all. So that's when the quality goes from here. So quality is like it's somewhere in the middle, but then when they're on screen, the quality goes just down there.
Down there? Oh.
Down there in pits of hell.
Oh.
So that's not good. And it's not very good. So I need to stop talking about this. Okay, it's not very good. It's mediocre, and I wish it was better, but it's not.
I mean, I enjoyed a decent amount. But if even if it was a show that I was just judging on.
How far are you? How far are you in?
Deep. I think like when did we stop? We were gonna record this 2 weeks ago, so what was that, 13? 12, 14?
12, okay.
12,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
I was gonna say that like I really enjoy the show, but if I'm buying a show just for, oh god, everybody's frozen, just for, like visuals alone, like that was last season of, I mean, Evergarden was that, right? Like, and that's a more dynamically engaging show. Like I still enjoy this. Like I think it's a fine one of these shows. I think it does an all right job. I think you might have too high of expectations, but it's fine. It's just like I don't know. The visuals are what's there for, and that can be fine. You can watch a show because it looks nice,
Yeah, I watch the show like once a week before bed, and that was fine.
Yeah. I watched Twin Peaks. I don't know what happened in that show, and I still, I watch it because it's a spectacle. Because I have no idea what's happening. And that's just honest.
Twin Peaks and Kimetsu no Yaiba, a comparison.
Very, very close. It's a deep pull, it's a deep cut, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, let's litter. Fuck me.
Alliteration. Glitter.
Shut up.
Literate.
Quiet. I open up. Hold on, where my external storage device. Sometimes when I don't use it for a while and I try to use it, it takes a while for it to load up any folders. So
should I put like a Twin Peaks counter every time I mention Twin Peaks? We could just start clipping it because I mention it way too much.
Letterkenny. Yeah, so it's the same. I watched Letterkenny. It's basically the same thing.
Basically.
Maybe watch some more David Lynch so you have other stuff to compare it to.
It's true.
I don't know. Like,
if you want to have
oh, this is more like Eraserhead.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. When you're all black and white is very Eraserhead.
It's basically like X-Play. So,
hello, it's me, Eraserhead.
Fuck. Can we start over, you guys? I don't think it's
no.
Hey, Tuna, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
You want to talk about One Punch Man season 2?
Good shit.
Yeah, I would love to talk about. God, it was so boring.
Oh my god, I'm with you.
Yeah,
that was a waste of the season.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I got through 5 episodes. It was like, oh, I spent just 2 hours of my time and nothing happened. And none of it was interesting.
I felt it was demonstrably worse in every category of that show. The fights were worse, the visuals were just worse. It seemed like if you went down a list.
The thing is, in the end, the visuals, people complain about the visuals, but that's not really the worst thing about the season.
Well, no, but I'm just saying everything's a little
the
worse.
actual arc is garbage.
Yep.
Like everything after that first season, I guess the creator didn't know what to do with Saitama, and that was it. And you throw him into some kind of tournament arc that doesn't matter, and it's super lame.
It's
Yeah,
just
I don't
super
know.
disappointing.
It's
Especially
super.
I mean, if that was the way it would have went, I wish they would have like went original on it or something, because that was just a bloody mess. Like, really.
They could have covered what they covered in like a 3 or 4 episode OAV,
Yes.
and
Yep.
I kind of wish they had done that instead, because it just felt, I mean, I kind of enjoyed some of the visuals, like they weren't like Madhouse good, but I liked the digital painting techniques they tried to do, like having texture, like leather texture on the S&M lady that I can't remember the name of, and like metal texture on stuff, and the Snake Fang guy had that neat looking embroidered jacket like during the fighting tournament, and that was kind of cool. But for like actual motion, it wasn't that great, but
Yeah.
whatever. That's
The
fine.
Genos fights were okay,
Hey, but
I would
down,
say.
Albie.
Yes.
Demonstrative.
That's how you say it. Good.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it's just I felt like, there was things that were close. I felt like early on it was closer than like later in the season to season 1. It just felt like everything was just like a little bit worse in like every single category. Just the fight. There were some good fights, and and there were some good moments. It's just not.
A lot of the fight scenes, though, especially towards the end of the last batch of episodes, was just like, oh, let's just make it look like Dragon Ball Z and just throw a bunch of really fast punches and dodges, and it was not.
Where is he?
I don't know.
He disappeared.
Like, I love.
Oh, look behind you.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like a scene where someone takes some earth and throws it into somebody's eyes or whatever, or some dust.
Pocket
Like
sand.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that where it's just like, okay, now we're just Dragon Ball Z. Like, the thing that was so special about One Punch Man season 1 was it wasn't just super fast. Like, they were using different techniques to make it look like unique and different when they were moving quickly, and like to put out this product that was so refined in terms of its like fights, and then have it be like lauded across, like, really, like, it became like a actually popular mainstream anime like that. To get something like that to happen is a really difficult challenge, and then to just go like, here's season 2, which is just this. It's just like a worse version.
Season 1 had more comedy moments and like some actual like internal character studies, like Saitama and him learning to respect like Moomin Rider, like him trying so hard even though he wasn't really very fancy or anything. Like, it's just season 2 did not really have much of that whatsoever. It was just like, here's a crazy new bad guy. It looks like we're not going to be able to beat him. And by the end of the season, he's just flying off, being taken to the even bigger bad guy, and it feels like nothing fucking happened.
Yeah, pretty
What?
much.
You saying Garo's a bad character? How dare you? They spent half the season on him. Can't be bad.
Well, I mean, I like his voice actor. He's Hikaru Midori Kawa, who was Tamahome in Fushigi Yugi. And they actually have Hoto Hori from Fushigi Yugi in there too, as like he's like the helper demon guy to the main huge big bad guy that I can't all of these characters were so shitty I can't remember their names, basically. So, but yeah, I do like the amount, like, there was a lot of good voice acting in it in general, like just a lot of nice character voices. They even had Takahiro Sakurai, who's in like fucking everything right now. He does the voice of Reagan in Mob Psycho 100.
Right.
He was Zombie Man in this,
Zombie
and I
Man?
do remember that name because Zombie
That's good.
Man is a cool name.
That's a good name.
Yeah, and he also does like the voice of Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy VII, and he's basically like in half the shows this season and in the upcoming season too. So I do like that part, but the show overall, it was just, I don't know. Like Gary and I watched all of season 1 together, and now when I was watching season 2, he did not feel the need to actually watch it with me. Like
Says
I
a
would
lot.
be watching it by myself, and he would glance over when it got interesting, which only happened like once or twice per episode. And yeah, I feel like this could have benefited from having some kind of condensed down form for sure. Or maybe I should just read the manga because maybe no, you don't think so?
I mean, I just worry that the problems carry over. Like, I don't know. Like, some of the problems seem like they're plot problems, storytelling-wise, stuff that...
I mean, I heard that the manga gets better. Like, this arc was particularly shitty in the manga, so but it gets better after this. So
yeah, it's supposed to get better.
But who knows?
I mean, visually, it's still pretty good in the manga.
Yeah, sure. His artwork's very good. But yeah, no news on a season 3 for this. Like, I assume it'll happen, but
I'm sure a ton of people watched it. I bet it's
Yeah.
super popular still.
Probably did well. Merchandise probably sold pretty good. I don't know.
Look at the numbers.
Look at the numbers.
I mean, I will literally look up the disc sales if that's what you're asking.
It's something that was interesting to me coming from like being a bigger comic book fan of like the complaint always is when you get really strong characters that it becomes difficult to write for them because like where do you go with it? And I felt like season 1 did a really good job of managing that, where I felt like there were moments where I was just like, oh, he's just gonna win. Like it's just gonna, I don't know. There was a few moments like that where it threw me out of it a lot. Just wanted to mention that while you guys look up numbers.
I'm trying to find a picture of this cool Saitama like action figure that got announced. I saw on Twitter recently where he comes with like a shitty version of that wig he wore in the martial arts tournament, and that was pretty good. But yeah, now I can't find it because it's Twitter.
I would look at it, but I can't look at it because I'm streaming.
I mean, if you wanted to show it off, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Whoa, there's lots of stuff in this channel. People were posting images. There's like somebody look at this person flipping through these pages. That's what I'm thinking.
Sorry, my user source I think died. So
okay, well, so we can move on then. Right. But I don't know. I think that residually it's still kind of culturally relevant. Like I think people probably are still buying action figures or like One Punch Man stuff.
What?
So. Have you ever seen? I've seen One Punch Man action figures.
I don't think action figures are a thing in Japan. I mean, I've never been in Japan, but I think there might be figures, but not action figures.
Okay.
I think there's a.
Have you heard of Figma? Those are action figures.
They're talking about Figma.
Whatever. You people would understand.
I love figs.
Sorry.
Anyway, One Punch Man season 2.
2 thumbs down.
Worrying and
I don't know.
The second half was even worse.
I think the second half was better. Like I think the thing that upset me the most. Sorry, I didn't get to talk. You guys were all talking, so I want to talk about this actually. I watched this anime too. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The thing that bothered me the most is they were fucking having this whole quaint little tournament like in the middle of like the biggest monster invasion in like forever apparently. And so the main character is like hanging out in his main tournament while this fucking like they're supposed to like honestly expect us to like flip between this tournament and like this monster invasion. I'm like, what is this? Like, do you want us to take this monster invasion seriously, or are you using it for a plot device so we can see people fight monsters? And is this? So it's hard to get invested into any of the story whatsoever, and also the biggest flaw of the show, which is the main character can't be defeated. Came in full light when he's in a fucking tournament arc. So and the whole scenarios I think didn't work out well at all. And I think, but during the second half when they started focusing on the main arch foil to the main character. I think they fleshed him out enough to make him interesting at least. And like Mary said, I think his voice actor really brought out his character. So I actually really liked him as a character more than the main character this season for sure. But yeah, overall, it was hard to really invest in the show and just really enjoy any part of it. Moving on. Hey, so Albie,
Yeah.
how about that Marvel panel? Am I right? Ho ho ho.
I love Marvel movies. They're very funny. I like them a lot. They're very fun. Thank you.
I heard about you. I heard you should start a Marvel podcast.
Yeah, remember when we did that for a while? Remember that? Good times.
Blade. What is Blade? Is that apparently everybody loves Blade?
It's a man who hunts vampires. I think you might have heard of it. I think it's also called
It's part vampire.
It's part vampire.
Yeah.
Wait,
And the actor didn't want to open his eyes for a scene, so they had to CG him opening his eyes.
Are there vampires in the Marvel universe?
Yes, there are vampires in the Marvel universe. Spider-Man, funny story,
Yeah.
also fights a lot of vampires in this stuff. Like, it's fucking stupid.
What's the name of that bad guy? It's like Morbius or something.
Yeah, something with an
Right.
M. Morbius.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Morbius.
Morpheus.
He's an
I don't
energy
know.
vampire, though. He's an energy vampire, right? Is he an energy vampire, or is it energy vampire?
Morbius, the living vampire.
He's
So
living.
you're saying that there's vampires in Spider-Man Far From Home?
I can confirm. I have not watched that movie.
All right, you still have it.
Jared Leto will portray the character in a live-action film
Ugh!
adaptation.
Ugh!
So Marvel universe.
Because, you really wanted the best Joker for this role. We felt it was really important to have the best Joker ever. As really the best character in Spider-Man. His arch nemesis. The energy vampire.
No, Morbius is a trash character, so getting
bad.
Jared Leto cast as him, no, it makes sense.
I've had a huge problem with having this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe and spanning 1,000 movies and 1,000 characters is they're probably running out of actors and actresses to cast. So they have to start digging at the bottom of the barrel for some of these people. So this person has been in a DC universe movie. Well, it's fine. We need people. We need bodies to fill in.
We need people.
They need to replace Robert Downey Jr. and what's his name?
Chris Hednick.
Captain America. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
And
I don't know.
they had so much charisma.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can if they can find someone who can carry the franchise.
I mean, they'll replace them by not casting them as major characters. So
what is happening? Why is this so awesome right now? I didn't know we were going to go into Marvel talk for a little bit. Hi.
I mean, anime is bad this season.
True.
No, it's not that's bad. It's that we don't have anything to talk
Bad in
about.
summer. No, I still have a bunch of notes for a bunch of shows I watch. So
I'm
get
sorry.
on task, everyone.
So I was gonna. I'll do this cool hosting where when I switch to when I introduce one of my guys to talk about anime. I'll throw a softball question like, so how's life going? So I have my notes here. I was gonna ask Mary, how about that Dragon Quest Builders 2? Because I know we're both interested in that video game. So I was gonna do that to introduce you to then talk about it, but quickly so then we can talk about anime. But then I don't know. Then we start talking about Marvel.
Let's talk about Marvel. Listen, don't get me started. We could have a podcast.
And I got invested into actually talk about Marvel for some reason, and then Dow didn't even talk about it because he sucks and he doesn't want to talk to me about Marvel apparently. So
listen, let me talk to you about Marvel.
And also, we started off whole sidetrack, and I don't know, this whole podcast sucks. So I'll be. You want to talk about Sarah to May, whatever.
Excuse me, sir. I didn't quite get that one. Could you roll that one back for me, buddy?
Sarah Zonbai? Sarah Zonbai?
It's the
Sarazama.
one.
Sarazama.
The anime directed by our fuck me, I'm done. I'm muting myself.
Ikuhara. No,
Ikuhara.
It's okay.
That's fine.
It's hard to do unless you know the actual pronunciation.
So give you a little background, and we can get into it. This is the weird show where people are getting transformed into duck men, Is it correct to say Duckmen? Is that
They're
correct?
Kappa,
Okay,
so
into
no,
Kappas.
it is not correct.
And it's like it's a weirdly weird show. It's it's weird.
It's not that weird.
It's sort of
not
weird.
that weird.
It's a little weird. Thoughts, Tuna? What? Weird? Not weird? Where you at?
I mean, it's weird, but it's also pretty streamlined.
Sure.
Like it hits you with its themes pretty directly. It doesn't really bother with creating some kind of huge complex world. Like there are some weird characters, but it's pretty small ensemble cast throughout the entire show.
I mean, it's a show. I mean, it's a TV show. It's meant to be enjoyed. So it's not like absurdist
anime,
art.
Please.
What does that mean? It's not like it's not super off the rails. I mean, I struggle with some of the sexuality stuff in it. There's some weird things that happen that make me uncomfortable sometimes, but I think it's fun. I think it's a fun show to watch, and it does like a lot of funny stuff. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's gonna make my anime of the year list or anything, but I don't know. All the characters interacted in a way that I thought was fun and entertainment. No one.
I mean, it's fun, but also super real at times.
Yes, it gets very real.
It's pretty dark, actually.
It's
Yeah.
sad at times, man. I don't know. Like, there were sad moments, but I can't. I mean, reflecting back now, it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe that says something about the show, but I didn't really remember those moments. I remember some of the weirder, more absurd stuff, but I didn't really. I don't know. When I look back,
You didn't remember when people died.
people did die, but.
And the stuff with Kazuki's mom
Right.
and his younger brother.
Yeah,
All of that
that
stuff.
whole arc.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of the stuff with Enta and how he was messed up. I don't want to spoil the show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Toy and his brother, all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to separate those two, right? Like, it's sort of a weird balance they strike in, like, yeah, like there's these weird moments that are like really bizarre, and then we have some of the heavier emotional stuff, and I don't know. I felt like there was a weird balance between that stuff. Did you guys find that like more natural, or like what did you think?
Maybe it's because I've watched a lot of Ikuhara shows, but I found it fairly normal, I guess, for me. Like, the only one that got super wild was the last episode,
Right.
just because of a lot of how they wrapped it up. But it is like fairly straightforward, like surprisingly straightforward. Every episode you get more like details on characters and their motivations. I felt like it was paced out pretty well overall. Like, even a lot of the things with the themes, they will have, especially in the last episode, they had characters like straight out saying like, this is what this means, this is what this is about. Like,
I'm
yeah,
not
like
a real human thing. I'm just this representation of your feelings and whatnot.
Yeah, like there was a character literally labeled abstract concept like, in the last episode, and it's like, hey, this is what this is about. There's a character, I think Princess Sarah at the very end says, like, literally, I wrote this down: hope and despair are both one with life. Never forget that only those who connect their desires through the pain of loss can take the future in their hands. And they're like, this is what the show is about. Just in case you guys didn't get it,
Basically,
here you go. Yeah. And just, there's a lot of repeating those themes through each character's story, like Leo and Mabu as well too, the two otter dudes. The main thing I was surprised with the way the show was going, that it actually had a happy ending at the end.
Sure.
Like, I was very surprised by that, even though there's that jail sequence, like it still ends up very happy at the very end. Like, I'm not
Right.
trying to spoil
Sure.
too much. Hopefully, I'm not. But yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty good.
But that's something that his shows do a lot, though. You know, like I feel like all of his shows have ended on a, I don't know if I'd say positive note, but at least the recent stuff, like Yuri Arashi ended like on a pretty solid, upbeat note. Obviously, what's that name of that show again that we just watched like last season? Was it last season? Mary.
He didn't have a show last season. I don't think,
didn't he direct?
so.
Yeah.
Didn't he direct the one with the people that were? There was a giraffe. Is that not one of his shows?
Oh, Starlight Review? No, that was fake Ikuhara. It was
Oh,
wannabe
fake Ikuhara.
Ikuhara. Yeah.
Okay. Fake Uhara. Okay. Well, trick me on that
It
one.
was
Okay.
very, yeah, it was similar to Utena and had a lot of the symbolism type storytelling, but I feel like that one was a little less competently done. Like, I think I do like this better than Starlight Review, or Review Starlight. That's what it's called, Doi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite in the year, but I did enjoy it, and I thought the pacing was very good.
Yeah.
And if you want to, you can skip through like the repeat musical sequences because
You would save a lot of
Yeah,
time.
I started doing that after a couple of episodes.
Yep.
No, from what I can tell, he was this anime was pretty restrained from his last few, and also a lot less repeated sequences, I think, but also it was only 11 episodes, so these guys wish there was more episodes, maybe.
No,
No.
I think 11 episodes was just
Yeah.
fine.
Yep. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think
it
more
was-
episodes would have just made the world more confusing, and he would have ended up adding more stuff that actually isn't necessary.
You know, the more you guys talk about it, the more I reflect back on moments now that, yeah, maybe I'm not thinking of the show in the right way. I think what you said about like some of the balance stuff is starting to be very interesting to me. I wonder if that was his intention to be like, here's this like dark stuff, and here's like this moment of levity. Like I feel like in reflecting on it now and talking about it, I might enjoy the show more than I thought I did. At the time, just because
That's kind of what he
so
does,
different.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean
agree.
that's Yuri Arashi. I thought the same way. Where I remember watching that, talking to a few people about it, and just the act of kind of talking about it and getting into it a little bit more. I feel like I enjoyed it more. So maybe we should have had a group chat on this thing going or something, because there's some interesting moments that I'm thinking about, like symbolism and stuff like that I think is very interesting. He does a nice job. I always think he does like a really good job of like making like seemingly a absurdist concept into something that's like has comprehensive weight and like is interesting to think about.
And is layered. Like, I know this is kind of a gimmicky thing, but the characters of Reo and Mabu, they actually had like a live Twitter account that was going on as
cool.
the show was airing. And like at the very end of like the last episode, they had some messages and basically deleted the account. And I don't know, I'm a sucker for that kind of like, the anime is real marketing kind of stuff. Like, if you want to look it up, there are websites that actually have like a compiled Twitter translation of all of their tweets, and they're actually fairly interesting. Like, there's actually even a prequel manga about those two and Sarah, that gets very interesting and goes into their story a little more and makes everything make a little bit more sense with
Right.
like the backstory stuff. And yeah, like I mean, I guess if they were going to add more episodes, they could cover that content in there, but I don't think it was really needed. Like, it was a pretty darn good show.
Yeah.
Like, animation quality and everything wise too. Like, I didn't really mention that, but
Mm-hmm.
even though there were repeat sequences, like, I don't feel like the show parts that didn't have the repeat sequences had like bad animation or anything.
No, not at all. It was very consistent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It might actually be my favorite show this season. Yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking about it more. I'm thinking maybe. I don't know. I still feel like Fruit Basket. It's probably
Yeah, like
number one.
I was into Fruits Basket like right after I got out of high school, so I'm gonna be a loser and say that. But for like original content, this was definitely number one for me.
Yeah.
So
Mike
be like,
Carroll.
can I go, Albie?
Punch it.
So tell me how much you love I Love Bees, Mary.
I love bees.
That's the only ARG for Halo 2, yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't into that, even though I was around for it. Like, I don't know.
Sorry, this is the only ARG I know by name.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
I
ARG.
was more into that terrible Sombra one.
Yeah, all right. That was the worst one we ever had. That was really bad. Everybody knew it's like Sombra. It's Sombra. It's like, why are you doing that? Everybody knows what's happening. I don't. It was dumb.
That was one that I overthought way too much, and yeah, it was.
What was your crackpot theory at the time? Give me your.
I remember like Googling number sequences and being like, oh, well, this is the temperature that salt water boils at. So it was like, yeah, it was crazy shit. So.
Hey, man, that's fun, though. Whatever. Live your truth. That's what I've heard. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, and I'll say it about Sharazama, it's jumping for me. I'm thinking more about it. Maybe next time one of his shows come out, how would we get a group chat going if anyone's interested? And just, I feel like having a chance to reflect episode on episode might be helpful for me. And just
listeners, what do you think about that?
What do you think about that, listeners?
Write in the comments below.
If they're listening, they're probably in the Jeffler Discord, and we could use that anime channel that never gets used.
We could use the anime channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
What about the Potato Sack ARG, Mary? Any opinions about that?
Potato Sack ARG.
Let me click on this.
Don't click on the Potato Sack.
ARGs first.
It's not gonna be what you want. It's not what you're looking for.
It's actually very short. This is very disappointing. Has there been that little ARGs, or only this many that people care enough to put on in a Wikipedia?
Basically,
page?
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways.
Let's just talk about Cicada, whatever thing. That Cicada one.
Life?
That's what I thought too. Like, what the hell? Like, what? And like in 2010, when it was not very popular. Yeah.
What's that called? Cicada 2020? I don't know what it was. The Cicada thing.
Dimma 21 Pilots. What? 21 Pilots? What?
21 Pilot.
They're decent. They're a band with a decent first several albums, and they got popular and got shitty. But hey, they're from the city I live in right now, so there you go. I have to support them.
The PlayStation Home people made the Lewis Hamilton game.
Oh.
Oh. Anyways, a Reebok. Wait, what?
I remember when I went to visit you, Pop, that there was a famous rapper in town. I forget who it was. Had an arcade that I went to. That was weird.
Yeah.
I think it was Halsey? Halsey or someone else?
That's not a rapper.
That's not a rapper?
Halsey? Halsey? No, it was the guy, though. It wasn't, I forget who it was. It was
Ludacris.
Her husband, I think? Who was she dating at the time or whatever? Anyway.
So, Mary.
Uh-huh.
G-Eazy.
Your name's not Mary.
G-Eazy. What's your rap name, Mary? We need to have a...
It's the color shirt you're wearing plus whatever your drink it is, right? That's what I saw on Reddit.
Okay.
So, black and white Waterloo watermelon.
Black and white watermelon.
Black
and white melon.
Okay. I don't know. That's
Black and white Waterloo is a pretty good name.
White melon.
White melon. Black melon. It's like a fucking terrible band.
Or I guess I could say Sea Witch, because that's what my shirt is right now. It's for a pinball table.
Sea Witch.
Classic pinball table. None of y'all have heard of.
Go ahead, host. I apologize. We're just having a little repartee.
So Mary, Dragon Quest Builders 2, am I right? That looks cool.
I wasn't able to get Dragon Quest Builders 2 because I bought Senran Kagura Peach Ball because I'm an idiot.
What?
Yeah, we had a conversation about this. She's already been told. It was a mistake. We can move on.
All right.
Listen to episode 169 and the ROMs are bad
Oh, that's
cast.
fitting.
Nice.
Very
Bad
Bad
cast.
cast. It is
Bad
bad.
cast.
Oh, it was bad.
It is bad. Yeah, the game looks very cool. I want to get it, but then I don't know, Fire Emblem. So
Exactly. Next
Yep.
Friday. That's what my next game purchase is.
well, what?
Wait, it's out next Friday?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, dog. Get
I'm
on
gonna
it.
be in Spain. Damn.
All right. Well, perfect time to pick
I'm
up.
getting the special edition and everything. Yum yum. I get getting a bunch of cool things like a pin. I think.
What if I went to a store
In
in
Spain.
Barcelona to buy?
There's got to be a
Switch game?
GameStop, right? There's got to be
But
GameStop
then-
in Barcelona.
It would
Yeah,
all be,
I bet they have GameStop or whatever.
but then it'll all be in Spanish, right? That's how it works, right?
Nintendo. They got the most
No, it's
games
actually gonna be
have
in
the,
Catalan.
5 languages. Oh,
What?
yeah.
It's gonna be Catalan only.
Please.
I don't.
Fancy.
Catalan.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know how
Use
Europe
the
works.
TH sounds more.
The fruit basket, huh? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about. So, wait. Agretsuko season 2. Mary, you want to talk about that?
Oh boy.
Sure. That came out on Netflix recently. Technically, I guess it counts as the spring season. They're short episodes like the previous season, so it was kind of fun to just crank through them real quick. It was interesting. I liked the first season as well. There's less emphasis on the whole, like, oh, she gets pissed off and sings metal at the karaoke box. There's way less emphasis on that and way more on, like, J-drama style character drama. They introduce a new character who's, like, a blue donkey man named Tadano, and he's
Shrek?
What?
Sorry. Blue donkey.
No.
No. Go ahead.
No. He's a tech executive.
Shrek 2, am I
working on
right?
AI.
That's a good movie. Let's talk about Shrek 2. Can we make a Shrek 2 podcast?
No.
Let Mary talk. God damn it. The old lady.
All right.
But yeah, there's a whole romance plot with Agretsuko and Tadano, and they're dating and how it comes out in the media. She's dating the celebrity, blah, blah, blah. He's like a super rich tech executive guy. He flies her on a plane to Hokkaido for a date so they could eat at this one ramen restaurant. And I'm just like, this is a little too ridiculous for my little office worker Red Panda show. Like, this is a little too much here. Like, but they end up grounding the story and it becomes all about, like, her idea of romantic commitment, which felt way more like, oh, this is something I can actually watch. But the character of Tadano was still kind of ridiculous. The other main plot in the season is she gets a new worker who's, like, I guess Gen Z, I guess I would describe it, named Anai.
Okay.
He's like I think he's like some kind of Japanese badger, and he's basically a dick. Like, he acts like a total asshole and tries to bully people. He assumes anything anyone says about him that's slightly criticizing in any way is a form of harassment, and he's threatening to go to HR constantly. And I'm like, what kind of weird shit is this? And they talk about how he just needs to grow up and take responsibility. These lazy Gen Z dorks, like, wanting to cry to mommy all the time. I was like,
Those Zoomers.
yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
So that was kind of a little off-putting, just the way they address that character. But overall, I I thought it was pretty good and interesting and stayed looking cute consistently. It's still very flash animation-y, but I think that style works for that show. So yeah, if you have Netflix, I guess watch that because you can't watch Carol and Tuesday yet. It's either that or Evangelion. So
Yeah.
Yay.
Mm,
I guess this problem with seasons, like they always wanted to like top the previous season, so then they had to think of things to make it better. But then when your show is about grounded, like about reality, and then they try to top that, it's like now we're going in this private jet to Hokkaido, and yeah, that
it got a
sucks. But
little too like rom-commy, like
yeah,
ridiculous. Like here's a super rich, perfect guy, but is he actually perfect? Oh no, the main critical plot point is coming, and I was just like, eh.
where maybe the creators of the anime don't fully understand why people like it so much. But it seems like it wasn't. Yeah, that was only maybe a little blip. And overall, it was still very good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
still would like to see another season of it, especially if they finally fucking get her and the hyena guy together. Haida, he's like, that's the OTP. Everyone knows it. It's like Cheers or something. They just need to hurry up and make him commit. But whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna
Make
say
him
that.
commit.
You don't get to talk anymore. I'll be or but
What?
Tuna.
hey!
Opa!
Cut that awkward silence. Tuna. So that was magic, am I right? Them cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Testing is going terribly. I have a horrible win rate.
Oh.
I'm scared. It's gonna be fantastic.
Did you get free Red Bull from the Red Bull tournament?
No, I didn't.
What? Didn't it have like
Yeah.
a cooler like for free Red Bull?
My event was online only. They had
Oh,
another
right.
one that was in Italy, and then they had a stream going, and behind them they had a big ass Red Bull fridge that looked a lot like the fridge people sent into the Giant Bomb office a couple years ago,
Oh.
and it was
Yeah.
filled with Red Bull. Oh, damn.
Ugh. Did it give you wings though? Is it...
Actually, I got a code. Oh, it was so terrible. I got a code after the event, and for MTG Arena, some free cards, and I got excited. I punched it in. Oh man, I'm gonna get some good stuff, right? And then I got like every creature with flying that's a common from the new set that I already owned. Like, get it?
Ugh.
Get the joke?
I get it.
Like flying creatures, and then Red Bull gives you wings, and then you fly with.
Oh, I get it. Wow.
Right? So smart. Marketing, right?
Yeah. Fun fact: I got a fucking can of four pack of Red Bull because they got sued over that slogan. So thanks, Red
Fantastic.
Bull, for lying in your commercials. Remember that there was that civil lawsuit about that motto. Then if you sign in and said if you ever bought Red Bull in the past 20 years, you can get free Red Bull. So I got free Red Bull. It was nice.
Because it didn't really literally give you wings? Is that what the lawsuit was about?
That's
I think
wings.
It was either that, or I think they may have said like some other bullshit, like it cures cancer or something in the cans.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I forgot.
Doctor say.
It's been
Doctor
years.
say gives you
Um,
physical
lucky
wings.
strike.
You will grow wings when drinking this beverage. It's a horribly painful experience.
So to the only show you have
$13
left.
million lawsuit proves Red Bull doesn't give you wings. Okay, so
Thanks
yes,
for that.
that's
Yeah,
wow.
we did it.
Robohachi. You want to talk about this, Tuna?
Rubihachi?
I
That's
forgot. What's your show?
that's
I
one of
forgot
the Force
this anime.
Watch shows.
Wait, no, it's not. That's
It is.
No, it's not. Your Force Watch is mixed, so
Yeah,
was
but
first.
I forced Mary to watch
Oh.
Rubihachi, so we should talk about it later, right?
okay, you are correct. That means you don't get to talk anymore. So
Well,
Okay,
you talked
bye.
enough. God
Congrats. You don't get to talk.
You're
Awesome.
fish, darn it.
Thank you for talking about.
See you
Thank
next
you for talking
time.
about magic. Bye. Get out. Get the fuck out of here. I guess I'll talk because.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna. Okay.
What? I'm sorry. I gotta bring in some energy in this podcast. After that.
I think I'm bringing enough energy, please. We could actually use some anti-energy.
You're 100% not.
Wow.
Midnight Cool
Okay.
Civil Service. I just want to talk about this. I guess did anybody else watch this? I see nobody else watched this, so I'm just gonna rant about this for fuck you, Albie. It's a good show. I can't believe you didn't like it. Fuck you.
It's actually bad, right?
It was all right when I watched that first 2 episodes of it. I just don't have enough time in my diet of anime to consume Midnight Occult Servants.
Yeah, fucking watching. What else you watch?
Okay.
Yeah, One Punch Man season 2. That really worked out for you, right?
Hey man, how was I supposed to know that at the time?
Oh. Okay, Midnight. Okay, serious mood. You guys stop distracting. I gotta talk about anime now, unfortunately. Okay. Midnight Occult Silver Servants. So this is basically about this office worker who works to take care of any yokai problems. And basically it's so basically it's pretty much what I was talking about last time. It's a very low key show. There's no action because they usually solve their problems with the words and whatnot. I think the biggest thing so far in the second he's holding her kitty now. I don't think she wanted me to talk about it because nope. So
Sorry.
So basically the main plot point that happens during the second half of the core is they introduce a quote unquote villain, which is he's one of the workers in Tokyo who you meet during an exchange program where the main character goes to work in Tokyo. But you learn that he usually solves this problem with the violence. So
he's okay, folks.
I missed it. So when the main character, because the main character can understand the yokai, he can solve the problem. He can solve the root of the problem. The guy in Tokyo, he solves it by killing them. So murder. So this came out when the case was basically a yokai was trapping kids into dreams, basically because the yokai was lonely and wanted to play hide and seek. The main character solved it by becoming friends with the yokai. But then after he became friends, but when the villain guy showed up, he just fucking choked the motherfucker and killed the yokai. Basically, he didn't actually choke him, but he did some cool shit. And so then that's when the main character, and I should probably look up the name. That's how people usually do things by saying the names of the characters, so then people know what you're talking about. I'm not a professional podcaster like fucking Albie here. He hosts Ramza Baghdad Dad Cag. So
I am the podcast sheriff, after all, as you can see by my badge.
So is this Sotaro? Let's just say it's Sotaro. So Sotaro, he's the bad guy, so he kills him. So then they have a disagreement, the main character and him. And then this came full force in the last arc, basically when they were building a stadium for the 2020 Summer Olympics. Winter Olympic? Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
But then a bunch of eggs appear in the stadium, and they didn't know why or what it was. They knew they were spiritual. So the Sotaro, the bad guy, his way to deal with it was to light all the eggs on fire.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, so
as you do.
But the main character quickly learns it's a bad idea because that's actually the eggs were for a festival, for a god, and
That doesn't go well for them, does it? Not at all.
No, at all. So when they started lighting the eggs on fire, the god appears and he fucks shit up. He starts killing the servants. I would say the cool thing I liked about it is the Sotaro, the bad guy. he was able to fight back and was able to at least go head toe to toe with the god for at least a little bit. So that's the main thing I liked about it. Where obviously he's in the wrong. They didn't make him like he didn't make him like dumb or like useless. Like it still showed that the way he was doing things, it still solved the problem. It's maybe not the best way because it was with violence, but they didn't make him toothless, which I really like if you make the villain like dumb and just like making him obviously like his way of doing things is like subpar, then it's like it's not, you can't really get invested, I guess. But anyways, but then the maker just shows up. They get his group gets jurisdiction, and then he solves the problem with the help of a yokai that was from that he helped previously in the season. And then they solve the problem, and fun times happen. So basically, my rant ending. I wish it, but I will say the show looked pretty terrible overall. You can tell the budget was pretty low. It was pretty god awful. But I think that's my most major complaint, because otherwise I actually really liked the show quite a bit. I think the way, I don't know, I think they did a pretty good job with the characters, and
Okay.
I just wish that people liked it and that it got a budget, because there's the show won't get more anime ever. And also, and so I'll probably just read the manga, I guess, if it ever gets translated, or it gets official translation. But yeah, it's a show I really liked. It's probably one of my favorites. Probably gonna be top 10 of the year, because I actually really liked it. And it's not doing anything special. It's just something I think does really well. I think it's cool. I think the execution they knocked it out of the park.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, it's very neat. You know what else is very neat? I guess technically Fruit Basket isn't a given anime, so I guess we can talk about Fruits Basket.
Fucking hell.
Sorry?
I'm enjoying it.
It's very good.
A lot. Yeah.
It's very good.
Takahiro Sakurai is in it again too, as Ayame, Yuki's older brother. So Reagan is in it again. It's a good show, just because he's in it. Not really. It's a good show because it's a good show. Like there are comedy bits that work. Like Hatsuhara, like when the school like student president, he's like, "Hey, you have dyed hair," and he's like, "No, dog, I totally don't," and drags him into the bathroom. And he's like, "Okay." He comes out. He's like, "Okay, you don't have dyed hair." And that whole bit was great.
Oh, it's so
good.
It
was great in the manga. It was great in the old show. Still great here. Done well. I was surprised, like, because this new show does not have like a director that's based in comedy like the 2001 show.
Right.
I thought maybe the comedic bits might suffer a little bit, but not at all. Like those still work in the show. And there's a lot of sad backstory stuff.
Oh my goodness!
Forgot about from reading the manga like 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago now. But yeah, just that shit is still super sad. It made me cry because I'm a wiener, and it's a very good show still. And apparently, there's going to be like more than 60 episodes.
Yeah,
of this adaptation. So
that is a criminal amount of episodes. Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to talk.
No, you're allowed to talk. It's fine.
You may begin speaking again now, as I tell you this. Speak again. No, I think this show is probably the best of the season for me. Kind of going in knowing that Fruit Basket is this thing that's kind of been around for a while in the anime community, and like has a pre-built background around it of people who enjoyed the first show and enjoyed the different stuff around it. Like, man, it's really good. I can see why people like it so much. Like, it's wow. I mean, it hits every note, like everything it wants to do, it does spectacularly. Like when it wants to be funny, it does a really good job of being funny. When it wants to get you like, hey man, that's sort of messed up. Like it can hit those emotional notes too, and like it can get you in different ways. It does a really nice job of putting those elements together and making a cohesive package that I think is a highlight of the season for me, at least.
And I was a little bit worried that maybe the pacing would be very slow compared to the previous
60,
anime. But so far, it hasn't really felt like that yet. I hope that keeps up. Apparently, they're adapting like around 2 chapters per episode. And I think that'll end up working okay. Theoretically, I am still really enjoying it, even though they totally did make Shigure talking about perving on high school girls. That didn't happen in the first few episodes, but it sure did later on.
Yeah,
so,
it did.
It's like, God damn it. Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, ha ha ha. You're a total
creepy dude.
Yeah. The high school girls, they stay the same age. Yep. He's that type of Fast Times at Ridgemont High bullshit, but whatever. It's all a joke. It's all funny. Like, the older guy likes to look at the high school girls. Isn't that hilarious? Like, not really. But
No.
Whatever.
I was about to say I need to go back to the show, but I guess,
I mean, that's like really the only questionable element.
Okay.
And you find out as the series goes on, like Shigure is kind of like two-faced, and maybe he's putting up kind of a bit of a front. But I don't know if I would choose like joking about being into two girls.
That's a bad
as
front.
It's a bad front, my friend. It's a bad look. I'm not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say like nobody suspects the guy that's into teen girls. That
Nobody ever
really
suspects that. I can promise you that much.
But yeah, it's not really that gross.
No.
I don't know. He's not like gross, and the
Just gross.
Yuki and Kyo.
Gross.
Yeah, just like no, don't do that. And all the other characters are like, no, don't do that. But he still keeps doing it, so whatever. I guess that's his thing.
A rascal.
What a
Yeah,
rascal.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of that. Like, they cut out the fact that Hattori doesn't smoke anymore. Like, he used to be smoking all the time in the manga, even though he's a doctor. And apparently they're not allowed to show him smoking on TV in an anime. But they can still have Shigure perving on high school girls. That's totally fine.
One thing is perfectly fine. The other thing,
that would corrupt the youth. Yeah, we can't have modeling on that. But
come on now.
Overall, I'm enjoying it a whole lot.
Great.
It'll be cool to see the rest of the story unfold. It'll be cool to see characters show up that were only in the manga in this anime that are very awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This and Kono Oto Tomare, I think both do a very good job with character drama this season.
Absolutely.
And they're the most likely to make me end up crying from watching it.
Absolutely.
So, and I guess I enjoy that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great show. It'll definitely probably be ending up on my anime of the year list. Man, it's just a great show. Very exciting.
I have to be honest, I was positive that the show aired in January this year and not this spring. I don't know, for some reason, it seems like ages ago. So I looked at the shows and, this is old, right? I don't need to watch this.
No, I think it was like one of the first shows that showed up for the spring season. So that might have been part of it.
Yeah, I think it's the first one I watched.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Like, it might have been like end of February or something crazy like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's going on through this summer season.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're going to take a break off in between, but the show is literally titled Season 1. Apparently they're going to have 3 seasons overall from speculation I've seen on the internet. Usually double core for like a core, however the fuck you say it, the French word.
Double core.
Core.
Yeah, they're gonna. I don't know if they're all going to be together.
Did
like
you know that
double
you
ones
can
or
return your
split.
Amazon Prime packages at your local? What was it called?
Kohl's.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is a Kohl's?
It's a clothing store.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the Gap.
It's more down market than the Gap. It's
Okay.
like closer to like J.C. Penney or something.
Oh right, yeah, my local J.C. Penney.
Yeah, of course you've
know-
heard of that one too.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
It's not as fancy as Dillard's, but
Mhm.
it's a clothing store that sells overpriced clothes.
Wow. Okay.
But that's where I went to get all my school clothes when
Absolutely.
middle school. So
J.C. Penney's home of literally most of my clothes. Very good. Love it.
thanks, Dad.
You're welcome,
just
son.
don't buy a mattress online from J.C. Penney because it won't show up for like 6 months because that's what happened to me. So it fucking sucked. I had to
6
yeah,
months.
Don't worry, never mind.
You gotta yell at somebody about that one. You gotta get on a phone.
I did multiple times. I also yelled at them on Twitter, which actually worked. Like after
There you
I'd been
go.
on the phone with them multiple times.
My
But yeah.
God.
Okay. Anyway.
Go ahead, Pop Can.
Mine. Oh, can I go ahead? I thought I just go ahead, but I guess I have to wait for you to. So my main. I also watch this anime, so don't mind me. Problem is, I don't like it as much as you guys apparently. So my main problem is the fact that I think some side characters don't work as much as others. For example, Kaguri sucks. She sucks. Her characteristics of being a tundra sucks because she's just violent and half the time and lovey-dovey other half the time, and so it's hard to get into her. But then you have characters like Momojay, who is awesome, and you learn about her backstory of her mother fucking hating him because he was a zodiac. So, it's obviously, and also the comedy bits I don't like as much as you guys. They're fine, but they're not. I don't know. They're sometimes not. They're overplayed. I don't know. So
Some of like the physical fight comedy bits, like especially involving Kagura to a pond, like it's Rama 1/2 or something, and that's kind of is aged poorly, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of, especially since there is that darker backstory stuff where characters suffer like actual physical abuse later on. So it's kind of weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of a tonal thing that doesn't really work all the time, I would agree.
yeah. So overall, the main thing is I don't think the quality is very consistent. Like some episodes are very good, but some episodes, I think the latest one is maybe a little bit somewhat boring. Where we dive into the backstory of one of the main character's friends.
I liked that though.
It was
Otani,
fine.
yeah.
But I don't know. It was nothing new. I don't know. No.
Which
the main guy characters, they get embarrassed by looking at swimsuits. Anime.
Yeah. Also older anime. You gotta take it from the times. It's a little bit older, subject matter wise and stuff. So
I'll show you a current anime where boys get can't handle the sight of a swimsuit. Yes.
And I mean, with like the character of Kagura, like eventually she does get more backstory and she becomes more of a sympathetic character. But yeah, that is quite an introduction for her to where I think you're supposed to like not really like her. Maybe by the end of the episode, you're like, okay, but still, yeah, she's pretty over the top.
I mean, I would hope so, because I mean, there's like I said, there's going to be like 60 episodes, so because apparently they're going to adapt old manga, so get on them, I guess.
awesome.
So Mary, what's up?
Nothing much.
Hanging
Talking
out.
about anime.
I'm so sorry you have to talk about anime. It sucks.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Let's talk about Marvel again, huh? How are we talking about Spider-Man?
No, I want to get this done, y'all.
Yeah, okay. So everything left is yours. So let's just talk about some stuff.
Okay.
I think, yeah, Dororo. Sadly, I don't think the rest of us stayed watching, but obviously you have. So how did it played out? The second core of the first season of Dororo. How was it?
I think it was satisfying overall, but I wish it was only one core. Like they could have fit that story that they tell in one season core, however the fuck you want to say it. 12 episodes would have been fine, especially since a lot of them in the first season and the second season are kind of monster of the week. Like, here's a crazy yokai thing happening. Wow. One of those kind of one-off episodes, though, I really did enjoy, partly because I played The Witcher 3 in Japanese with Japanese voice acting.
As one does.
Yeah, and
Hard
Geralt
disagree.
is actually in an episode, and he actually takes care of the monster, which is kind of like a silly, goofy monster.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and it was very Witcher-like the whole episode, and I was like, "Are they doing this on purpose? Like, is this some kind of Witcher tie-in?" And it was pretty cool to hear him like voicing something in an anime because he doesn't really do many anime. It's a lot of like live action movie roles that he dubs. So I was like, what the fuck? Why do I recognize this guy's voice? And it's like, oh, it's
Weird.
because I spent like 100 hours listening to him talk. That's why. So I really enjoyed that episode, even though it
I wanna
basically
see that.
was like a monster of the week one.
Huh.
It involves swordsmithing. I don't remember which number it was right off the top of my head, but
Watch your toxicity levels. Don't drink too much poison juice to boost
oh
your
yes,
stats.
yes, yeah. No, it did involve some weird kind of stuff like that too. So I was like, is this a reference? I don't know, but
Did he bone any witches? Have
I
sex
don't
with?
want to spoil it.
So
Did he press the left trigger? And then the world went all gold.
Are we
and
talking
red.
about The Witcher? It's
Yes.
Yeah, Witcher, your favorite anime.
Yeah.
We're not talking about it anymore, though. So
You're gonna have to go back and listen to it because I'm not gonna repeat myself. But yes, Geralt from The Witcher 3 is in an episode of Dororo, and that was really cool.
Really?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Well, kind of. You gotta go back for the context later. But overall, I did enjoy that show a lot. The original manga was actually canceled after like 4 volumes, so there isn't a real definitive ending to it. So the anime kind of
Ends.
it's a little bit. Like the main plot stuff does get covered, but it doesn't it ends it kind of open-ended.
Okay.
I don't really want to spoil it. Like it handles a lot of things, but it doesn't feel super satisfying, even though they hint at some things that might happen. It's weird.
I think
Overall, oh no,
sorry,
go ahead.
the biggest developing thread was the confrontation with the brother. That did that ever happen?
Yes, that definitely gets resolved. And a lot of Dororo's body issues and the whole pact with the demons, all of that does get resolved. And I found that part satisfying. Like I said, even though a lot of the episodes didn't factor into that overarching story that much, I still think most of them were pretty enjoyable.
Does it end on a positive note?
It's hard to say. Maybe.
Okay.
Like it's a weird. I
take.
don't want to like explicitly. I mean, maybe that's how I would say it. Like it's, yeah. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying all of these twin engine like anime produced works. If you want to look them up, they are actually funding a lot of shows lately. Like they're doing Vinland Saga this season. They did Kokoku.
Kokoku?
Yeah, basically, if you're watching a show and it has an intro with like dudes riding motorcycles in CG,
Okay.
Twin Engine funded that show, and I'm enjoying a lot of their work lately. And yeah, it's cool they made a new anime adaptation of this. I don't know. I do kind of wish it was a little bit shorter overall, is what I would say. But there are some powerful moments in it and a lot of crazy violence as well, which I also enjoy. Like a lot of people getting their faces cut off, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Twin Engine also helped produce Kokoko and also Golden Kamuy, two shows I really, really liked last year. So, A plus. And Dororo, something I also really liked. Also, other cool anime like Violin, which is apparently the best anime of all time, judging by how the first episode arc was.
I'll talk about that later when we talk about the new season stuff. But yeah, they seem to be like they're funding a lot of interesting projects and they're picking like good. This is actually, I think, Twin Engine is it was founded by the same people who started Noitamina, so it kind of makes sense.
They're funding a bunch of like shows, animes that don't get made anymore, and based off of manga, that are very well regarded but don't get anime adaptations or good ones, so they're making good ones.
So yeah, like more cool. Seinen stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adult focused stuff.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I didn't know about this anime production company, Twin Engine, but now that I do, I'm really, really happy. They have their own anime studio, Geno Studio. They make Kukukuku and Golden Kamuy, and they also have another anime coming up next season or the winter called Pet. This is also based off of manga, a very old manga. So there you go. I bet it's very good. That's also a Shinen demographic. Sorry for talking over your segment, Mary.
No, that's fine. I only recently learned about it because like I was like, what's the deal with all these motorcycle intros? Like
so many.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have that CG intro, and then on the back of the jacket will be the actual studio that made it. So it's like Wit Studio or Mappa or whatever.
Oh.
So I was like, why the motorcycles with different studio names? I'm confused. So I looked it up the other day, and yeah, that's totally what it is. They're just funding a bunch of different projects right now.
Seems like the only dud so far is Kuro Circus. Am I right?
I mean, I
creepy
still want to
doll.
finish that. I still want to finish it eventually because I find the weird fucked upness and the weird fucked up pacing fun. But yeah, that's very love or hate.
It's a bizarre show. A bizarre time. Much like Twin Peaks.
Sorry, what was that?
Are you the host now?
Oh, he was making. Sorry, do your bit. I'm sorry. I thought you were. Sorry.
I was doing a bit. Can't a man do a bit in this town anymore? Damn.
Sorry, I'm very protective of my role. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine.
It's my first anime hosting job. I can't let somebody else take it over.
That's fair.
So he's good. You do Twin
Much like Twin Peaks. Don't patronize me.
Okay, sorry, neighbors.
Hey, shut up in there.
Well.
Bunch of weird anime kids. Shut up in there.
So how is the current season Cinderella Girl, Mary? Is it terrible like all the other seasons?
Fuck you, number one.
One, two.
I mean, I enjoy it obviously because I'm still playing that game. I still like the characters. I will say overall, yeah, it's very similar to the last two seasons. I would say it's a little even better than season 2, just because the jokes are a little funnier. The last episode of the show, they actually introduced a lot of the 4 of the new characters that they added to the game that have voices. And that was fun to just see them like actually animated in something, because they literally only came to the game like a couple months ago. So that was pretty cool.
Was this part of that Solid Snake Twitter thing? Or is it something
No, that was something else.
Sandy?
Yeah, like
Sorry.
these are just totally brand new characters. And the Solid Snake thing was an election for the most popular girl, the Cinderella girl. They do that every year.
Oh.
But yeah. But I also really enjoyed episode 47 because it featured Sachiko and the rest of the 142s unit, which is named that way because that's their height in centimeters. All of these girls are 142 centimeters tall, and they're actually my favorite. Syoko, the metal mushroom girl, and Kome, who's into horror movies and zombies. Like, all 3 of those characters are awesome, and it was cool to see like an episode just focused on that unit, which they haven't had any like focus in the game at all whatsoever. There hasn't been like an event with them, so that was cool. But yeah, it's definitely still just for nerds that are into Cinderella girls, but that's fine. I mean, it's serving up the fan service for me, and not just like not titty type fan service. I mean, like I know these character quirks and jokes, so it's funny.
These characters were from the video game I play on my phone. Type fan
Every day, literally. Yeah. So
gotta grind out this event. Yes, gotta get my waifu.
Oh, this ending song from the show is an event right now in my game. Wow. That's cool. Wow. Like, I get to hear a longer version of this song like 5 times a day. Whoopee. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I should throw my credit card into my phone to get the characters as in the anime. Yeah.
No, I'm saving up all my gems right now because Halloween's coming up. I need to have enough for a spark. I gotta save like 25,000 gems or some shit. So, yeah.
You know, more power to you. If you enjoy that stuff, whatever, you know.
Wow, that sounded like very dismissive and like
so much shade today.
Sorry, I was trying to be positive and upbeat about you liking Cinderella girls, but it came out as just disrespect, and I apologize for that.
No, it's fine. Like, I understand, like, a regular anime viewer isn't going to be into this. You have to be. Like, I could see some people watching. Yeah. Like, I could see somebody watching Love Live, like, that has a complete story, but these are just little one-off joke episodes where you have to actually already know the characters and blah, blah, blah. So, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm not upset.
How's phone games going, Mary? Are you still playing Dragon Crisis? That Nintendo one? Are you playing
Dragalia Lost? Yes, I'm playing Dragalia Lost.
How's that Dr. Mario, am I right? Pretty
I
terrible.
Downloaded it and I deleted it because it sucks. It doesn't play
played
like
the first
Mario.
level and that was it.
That was rough.
I'm done.
It's not very good.
You know what new game I'm playing right now?
Oh no.
No.
Madoka Magica.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Magia record. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wow.
Magic, you say?
Yeah, like look at this one you can get right now. She's got blue hair and a trident. She's water based. Oh, that one's fire based. She has a big ass sword.
She has a sword that.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
It's fine. I dropped my phone, but it's fine. It's fine.
Don't drop the waifus.
Did you break her keyboard?
Okay. I have it on a tray. Like.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
Cat.
That's. You know who's not okay? Oh wait, they switched it.
Sorry.
Mommy, because she gets her head bit off. Spoilers. Anyway, yeah, that's what you made me talk about anime phone games, so I did. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I got this hot podcast arm, so I should probably bring my microphone closer like this. How does this sound?
Sounds like your voice.
Sorry if I'm ruining the audio.
You're making
fidelity.
noises.
Lord. Oh, God.
No, I can get close like this.
Please don't.
So are we on the
Sorry.
forced watch stuff yet, or no?
So, I don't know. I want to talk about Kikiko Babysitters because that's a very good anime. I don't know.
So how about we say that word for the end?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Gaku and Babysitters. They released a new episode. I think. Let me see. I wrote it down.
June 12th.
June 12th on Crunchyroll. This was an on-disc OAV that they created. I just think it's cool that Crunchyroll is getting these like disc extra like videos added to their site. I think it came out like a while after the last volume of the disc of the show came out, but that's fine with me because I didn't have to buy it. So whatever. It was cool. That episode was cute. The little Snow White story was adorable. I mean, it wasn't anything outstanding for like an OAV. It was just like another episode. But I don't know. Did you watch it?
As a manga reader, I didn't really feel the need to watch it because I already read it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What a kind of...
But it was animated. It was cute.
Also, I wasn't sure if I ever watched it or not. Also, I'm sure I'm probably just gonna rewatch the show again because I loved it so much. So I'll probably just watch it then.
Okay.
Watch it then. I'll watch it at some point. Wouldn't that be now or 2 years from now?
I mean, like, it's not crucial to anything, but I thought it was cool that they added like an extra episode to a streaming service.
Yeah, Crunchyroll's been doing that. Like, I think within the past year, they've been starting to do that a lot, and it's very neat because they usually don't do that. So then you have to rely on fan subs. But yeah, it's awesome that Crunchyroll's doing it. I bet they're doing it because there's a lot of competition now again, thanks to Funimation being bought by AT&T. But hey, that's a good thing because it's awesome that they're doing it. Yeah, Force Watch. Chop. So I'm gonna go. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna start with Robichachi because that's the one I don't know about, and I'm sure it's the one that's gonna be the least interesting to talk about. So, Mary, you were forced to watch. Mary, you were forced to watch this. How did you like it?
Actually, it was kind of interesting, but in a weird way. I had more fun like researching a lot of the references in this show than actually watching it. Because this is an adaptation, surprisingly, of an old Japanese novel called Tokai Dochu Hiza Kurige. Let me load up the Wikipedia article on this old Japanese novel real quick because I never actually read it myself. It actually has a plot kind of similar to the Canterbury Tales, if you've heard of that before.
Sure, right, okay.
I bet I'll be Mr. History degree guy.
I have read the entire Canterbury Tales, yes.
I bet,
yeah.
Mr.
Very
Smarty
good.
Pants over there.
I actually enjoy them a lot for being what they are. Like, I enjoy them a lot.
Tell me about the raunchiness.
They're fun.
Yeah, it's a novel about these two guys that are on this main pilgrimage route between Edo, which is Tokyo, and Kyoto. They're going to the Ise Grand Shrine, which is like the big daddy of all Shinto shrines. Like it's the huge, like this is the main shrine. The two characters in the novel are Yajirobe, which I think is where the Dragon Ball character gets his name from. But yes, Roby and Kitahachi, aka Hachi. So it's pretty interesting. It talks about them going to all of these Japanese towns on their way to the Ise Shrine, and that's kind of what this anime is, but it's in space. And now all of these Japanese towns are planets instead. So I had a fun time just looking up, like, oh, this planet, there is an eel festival. Like, what is
Hmm.
the real life Japanese town that they're talking about right here?
That's
so
neat.
let me just, yeah, it was actually kind of cool. Let me load up my big ass notes because, like I said, this is the most fun part of the show for me. Episode 4 was about Odawara, and the way I found that out is when they were landing on the planet, there was a big, like, port shaped thing shaped like a fish cake, and that's like their number one export. Um, Episode 5 dealt with Hakone, which they spelled a little bit differently, but it was literally named Hakone in space. Uh, they talked about the historical checkpoint that existed back then, and they literally had to go through like a space checkpoint to go further in the show, too. They also hung out in some hot springs and got into hijinks there, too. Uh, Hanama, Hamama 2, which is the Japanese town. Hamamatsu, like it's like the word two.
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
two. Yeah. I thought that was cool. That was the
Yeah,
town
that's a
with
cool
the
one.
eels. Episode 7 had like a fake Disney World, and that one was
Disney
not
World?
really. I don't think that was a reference to anything in the novels, but that was fine. Episode 8 involved this planet called Mulberry 7 or 8. So I literally looked up like the Japanese kanji for mulberry, and also which towns are famous for clam dishes. So I was like, oh, this is a city,
that's
Kuwana,
cool.
which I've never heard of. So
Oh, that's really neat.
It was fun just doing some detective work to be like, what are the real life parallels going on in the show? They had a funny joke in episode 9 where they're talking about Yokohama, and they're like, it's not famous for anything because Yokohama is just like a suburb of Tokyo that like all the normies live in, like families. So I thought that was an amusing joke. Like, there's a lot of Japanese cultural jokes in the show in general. So it was good for me, a nerd, pretty much. Like, it's not like haha funny. It was like, oh,
Right.
I understand that reference funny. Like the shrine planet that they're trying to get to for like the main thing of the story is called Ise Kandar in the show, which is Ise is the shrine, but also Iskandar is the name of a place they're trying to get to in Space Battleship Yamato, which is like an old ass like 70s anime. So that's like a nerd reference right there. Also a historical reference at the same time.
That's
like
the only reference I got watching the
Yeah.
entire show.
I mean, yeah, like there was also a reference on an episode where they went to Mars and they were just trying to cultivate tourism for Mars. They have Robbie get roped into participating in this reality show called Why Did You Come to Japan, which is actually a real show in Japan where they go interview foreigners like in the airport, and they're like, why did you come to Japan? And then they follow them around with cameras, and it's supposed to be like a show promoting tourism to Japan for like foreigners. And they actually have that show on Crunchyroll. And
really?
yeah, in the anime, they talk about how that show is basically fake and a scam. And I thought that that was very hilarious because, yeah, it just exists for propaganda. Like, that's the whole point. So that
We're
was
not
pretty...
xenophobic. Trust us.
Like, no, look at all the cool stuff you can do in Japan. It's cool. It's cool. Look at this local tapestry. That's really interesting and worth a trip over here, right? So that was pretty funny. Pluto was all about trying out anime type tourism. Like, there's a joke where they basically have a fake giant robot installed, like the giant Gundam. So that's basically what that show was for me. Like, overall, the character story and like I didn't really find anything super haha funny. They were trying to be, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't
Yeah.
into it that much.
It was like probably a short anime that was a longer one because the creator is behind Gintama, so he probably just got a full show, and he could do
That
what he
explains
wanted
all the
to.
references in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I picked this one because I knew about the background, and so I thought it could be interesting for you. But personally, watching it, I think I enjoyed it even less than you because I didn't do the research, and it was like a Planet of the Week type thing with a Team Rocket and some one-liners and pretty
Somebody
bad.
blast off again?
I mean, from what I've read, that's basically what the novel is. They're like, we're in this new Japanese town. What hijinks are we gonna get into on our way to the shrine? So it's not like super thoughtful or not that much going on with it, really.
Yeah.
So would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I would say thumbs in the middle. Like, if you're a normal person, thumbs down. But if you're a Japanophile, it's like, okay, it's pretty good.
Cool.
There were actually a couple of running gags that I did find kind of amusing, like the whole stuff, the bit involving the cardboard box, like a dude sitting in a cardboard box, like they're an abandoned puppy or kitty.
Yeah.
And
Snake?
Or the Isekandar
No.
jingle. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it as well.
But
sure that's just not symbolism for in the future when we're all space travelers, so human life isn't as precious as it is today, and it's because there's so many humans. So a human's life is pretty much the same as a puppy.
I mean,
think
no.
Okay.
No.
It's deep.
Yeah,
Kind of. But
It's
not
just
really.
funny.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It was a funny bit. The few times, like 3 times it came up in multiple episodes, but yeah. There was also a major plot dump in the last episode where they were like, "Oh, we got to wrap all this shit up. And due to reasons, we're going to transport you back to Earth real quick." But overall, it was okay. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like anime of the year or anything. And the designs were kind of nice, but like the individual planets they went to weren't that audacious or alien looking, probably because they were based on actual Japanese towns most of the time.
Might have been a better show if they went for it more. Made really weird planets and stuff. That probably wouldn't have been more neat.
Yeah, it probably could have been wackier. But yeah.
Okay.
It was okay.
Okay.
Did they ever pass by Reach and see all the orbital defense guns and comment on those? Okay, no. So no Halo. Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
I'm making a Halo reference, dog.
Oh.
Orbital strike guns and stuff like that, and the ship drone. The best defense they have against Covenant ships. Like, yeah. Okay, sorry.
ODS.
It was way more like capitalism focused than like military type shit going on.
I will continue this bit.
Bureaucracy and capitalism. Then, yeah.
We're running long, and then and you guys are already upset with me for making this too long. So we're going on to Mix. So I give to Tuna.
Oh, Lord.
What did you think of Mix?
Mix was I didn't like it that much.
I mean, yeah. Why did you not like it that much?
The pacing was something else with the show. Like, to an extent, I like slice of life shows to an extent where they're like relaxing and stuff, but at some point, Mix just, I don't know, every single shot took 10 seconds, I feel like, and they tried to be funny with it, and a lot of the humor didn't work for me because of that. I don't know. And so Mix is, it's
a mixed bag.
A mixed bag. It's a romance drama, high school, slice of life show where they happen to play baseball.
Sometimes.
I personally don't care for baseball.
Okay.
But that didn't bother me that much. Like the baseball stuff wasn't super in the foreground. And also another issue I had was they kept referencing this older generation, and it was way too much. Like for someone who didn't read the original or watch the original show, whatever, it's like every single episode was about like who is their dad, and then they don't reveal it in the end, and it takes them 12 episodes to say it.
I will say Touch was probably one of the biggest animes of all time in Japan, so I think for the sequel, it's fine. But yes.
For someone like me, it didn't connect.
For you, it's fine. I would say it was barely in it, so I don't. But yes, you're not wrong. It can be jarring if you don't know Touch.
Yeah, it was a little jarring. Like I thought in the beginning was fine. That was like the backdrop for the entire thing, but they used it too much for me personally.
That's fine. So you will give it a thumbs down, I'm guessing.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs. No, I'm not gonna give it a
baseball
thumbs down,
related.
but I didn't love it. A baseball? I don't know anything about. It's
Was it a strikeout or a pop?
Sounds more like a single to me.
I don't know baseball words.
A grounder out, a double play maybe.
It's not a foul.
A walk maybe.
Is it? It's not offside. It's not a corner kick. It's not a penalty.
Give me a soccer-related reference to this, and then I'll tell you the baseball-related one.
It's a shot just off target.
Okay. Not just off target.
Like he went for it. He kicked the ball and it didn't even hit the goal.
So yeah, I think a single sounds about right. Like he got on to first base. That's about it.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much.
Okay.
All right. For me personally, I still love the show, and it's still my favorite show of the season. So there you go. Moving on.
Whoa.
Well, you love Adachi's.
I love Adachi.
No matter. Yeah. So
marry the man already. Goodness.
God, I love him so much. Now, the fact that this is now you got me talking. I was going to move on, but there you go.
Now you did it.
Now I'm ranting for the next 20 minutes.
Okay.
So the fun thing is the evolution of the anime adaptations of the work for Touch. They cut out a lot of the meta humor and had a shit ton of filler that was god awful. And then for Cross Game, so Touch was like in the 80s. Cross Game, which was early 2000s, they had about 6 episodes of filler. When I say filler, I mean anime or content. And only about 1 episode was god awful. The rest of the stuff was actually pretty good. And still cut out all that meta humor for this. So far, I don't think they had any anime original stuff. And they kept all like the meta humor, which I think is hilarious. It's like stuff like where they just mention Adachi by name. And,
wow.
And they have like the latest episode. They had this in the middle of a baseball game, and they had an old man like all covered up walking the stands. And there's an old woman wearing a high school uniform, holding a Touch of manga, reading it, and like looking at him like he looks familiar. It's all very. So for Tuna, he's like, "Who the fuck is this Dodge guy? What is all these weird humors?"
It was very fan servicey. So.
Yeah, it was super confusing sometimes.
and so he's like, "Why are they talking about this popular manga artist like in this weird joke?" But for me, I was like, "Yeah, this is fucking hilarious because it's so dumb." They should probably not include this in the anime, but they do. It's hilarious. I don't know. It's so moi, so good. Fucking give me that slow paced shit. Let the fucking characters stare at each other while talking for 10 seconds. Thank you very much.
And then the dog barks, and it's funny.
Really? Wow.
He ate dinner 3 times.
Look, Punch. Look, she was sad. Okay, she was worried about Punch. Okay. But yeah, then he ate too much.
And in the end, she wanted to punch Bunch.
But then the very last episode, even though the main characters, even though Tom was tired and he wants to go to bed, he has to talk to his half stepsister, and he says he played like that to see her expression, and I was like, oh,
Some of that stuff is pretty heartfelt, and like the first arc with the number one, what is the term? Pitcher,
yes.
Who had his
Heart condition, yes.
Heart condition, yeah. That stuff was actually pretty well done.
Yes.
And the slow burn actually paid off there, like the slow pacing.
Yep.
That worked for me. But with other stuff, I don't know. Whenever the show tried to be funny, it just didn't click with me.
I mean, fair enough. It's not laugh out loud humor or anything.
Yeah.
It's he always the high school coach guy always needs the money because he's broke.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna.
I'll pay you back. So that's
bye.
Still the best anime so far this year, and will be forever until their next Adachi adaptation. Moving on. Kono Oto Tomaru. I give Tomare. Who I'm guessing Mary gave this to Albie. So how was it, Albie?
This is an expertly paced show. Every moment is pretty packed with character-driven drama. I like it a lot. There's a lot of good emotional moments. I think it's really good. I don't know if it's like, it's not my favorite show of the year, but it's very close. I think it does what it attempts to do very well. I think the characters are well written. I think they have really good moments. Particularly thinking of the first big performance they have to save the club as being like a really seminal moment where I was like, okay, this show's pretty good. I think it's just like an interesting show. I think there's been a number of these now. This sort of like, here's an instrument or something. Here's a very specific activity that we're gonna focus the show around. But I think this kind of transcends that genre in that it like just has some really interesting characters and drama pieces.
Yeah.
Particularly, what's his name? The main character, which is interesting because they start off with one character seeming to be the main character, the kid kind of starting up the thing, but then it obviously switches in like episode 3 to what's his name? Chikia Kudo Chica. The Chica. Who is
the pink-haired guy.
Just say Kudo. Kudo.
Thank you. Kudo.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so like I thought that was interesting that they switched main characters a few episodes in. I mean,
it's more of an ensemble cast kind of thing.
Well, sure.
Like they all have their episodes that get their focus, it seems like to me.
I think that's
like
all
even
anime,
a lot
though.
of the characters that seem throwaway, they end up having more to their personality later on.
Sure. But I feel like that's a lot of anime has. They try to involve all the characters in the ensemble a little bit more than some Western media, but I definitely felt like you have a main character and it's Kudo, and that's who it is.
Yes. Albie's right. There is a bit of switch because you think the president of the Coda Club will be the main character, but he's very much not because he's very much a piece of cardboard.
They do end up basically sharing the role of main character, especially towards like around the middle of the show. Yeah. I mean, they do add depth to him too, like, and his family life with like his asshole older brother or younger brother, I think, right? Yeah.
Younger.
And so, and he does like actually go through like a character journey, but it definitely does focus on Chica and the girl that I can't remember the name of because I'm terrible, not because the show's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hazuki.
Yeah, Hazuki.
I mean, I think the one downside for me with the show is I'm not a particularly big fan of Koto music.
Well, yeah, I don't think any of us is, but that's not the. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I didn't
That criticism?
particularly. There weren't a lot of particularly strong.
I don't like
musical
baseball, but I
numbers.
watch all these baseball shows because it's not actually about baseball; it's about the characters. Anyways, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm saying with a show that focuses so much on the music, I felt like a lot of the time I could, change out the music for something else and it not have any difference.
Well, I appreciated the whole learning about the culture of Koto and
Sure.
like going to visit that lady's
Yeah.
shop that knew Chica's grandfather and stuff. Like I appreciated all of that and how difficult it is to play together in precision. It I don't know, and the quality of the sound by you get by specific plucking styles and everything. Like it wasn't a major focus, but I kind of like to learn when I'm watching these shows. Like that's one of the reasons I liked
Sure.
Kabuki Boo so much. Like I didn't know a damn thing about Kabuki, but I learned.
I think it's more for the anime itself. Where
Absolutely.
I honestly don't think it's the all the performances were that good to watch. I mean,
It seems like they go out of their way to have to try and actually animate their performances because that's a lot of fine movement. Like Piano no Mori had the problem with like CG hands for playing piano. Like I understand that's difficult to animate on a TV show budget, but they tried. They tried to do some artsy
Sure.
things with this show.
And I think overall I enjoyed it. There are pluses, minuses to all shows, I think. That's one that probably stuck out to me the most.
except for Cross Game.
Except for
Sorry,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, please. You mispronounced that. I think it's a really fun show to watch.
You too?
Is it anime?
It is anime.
All right.
Guys, help the bit. Mary
likes JoJo. Don't give her that. Look, she's with me on Team JoJo.
I like Cinderella Girl. That's what Mary would say.
Yeah, you got me.
You got her.
Perfect.
Lit her up on that one. That was a pitch perfect rendition of her voice, my man.
Yeah, I don't know what Tuna likes, so I'm not gonna like that Kids on the Slope.
That's the one you pull for
Yeah.
Tuna? Okay.
I don't know. What's your favorite anime of all time, Tuna?
Rakugo.
Rakugo.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I get you. All right. Yeah. So anyway, this is, I give it a thumbs up. I don't know what we're doing for ratings wise on these.
Do you think it's a good suggestion of anime?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Then yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right.
But
I'll watch
also,
it.
I'm done with these shows.
It's very good. Like it's similar to Fruits Basket in the way it exposes like characters' backstories that aren't necessarily like they're dealing with the trauma of that.
Yep.
But it doesn't have the straight up wackiness or like weird shit that Fruits Basket has, and I think some people would appreciate this better. I do think that they handle the character story arcs very well, even when they introduce some characters from other high school Kodo clubs at like this tournament.
Yep.
Basically near the last of the episodes. You can tell they're going to be bigger characters later on when the show starts back up again in October. But I really enjoyed it.
Same.
I appreciated that the jerky girl that joins the club, she's only a jerk for like 2 episodes, and they resolved that whole thing. They didn't drag it out with her being evil for like half the season. They redeemed her as a character pretty quickly, and even the throwaway character Coda, like he actually got some depth when they went to the training camp before the big performance, like that summer training camp. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I want to see more of it. It's one of my favorites this season. Sorry, I'm talking so long.
Yeah, I appreciate how Kodo he was the reason why they got back on track in the last performance. Like, and it showed that the actions they took in the previous episode of him actually practicing and getting better actually mattered.
Right.
That was really cool. I think overall, I think I think Fruits Basket does a somewhat better job with the character backstory because I think some of the character stuff in this is melodramatic. Because I don't know,
that's definitely true.
Yeah, because like especially like I don't know the main character. He's like, oh, I'm just typical Japanese student where I don't know what to do. I'm just very don't know what to do in life. I'm very static, passive. Yes, passive. That's yes. So I think his character growth is and him just like I gotta stand up against the club advisor now, and I don't know.
The club advisor's backstory was really good too, and it
Yes.
actually reminded me a lot of Piano no Mori, and I like that part. Sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you. His backstory is the one I actually liked the most because I thought it was actually interesting. And yeah, well, the Toto was good too, but I mainly just hate the club president. He's not. I don't like it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's it. Anyways,
Damn.
I like the show quite a bit. It's obviously this is my type of show. And I like it. So there you go. Thumbs up for me. You did good job, Mary.
Nice recommendation, Mary. Good job.
Good.
Spoilers, you win because next is Carol on Tuesday, which I'll be give this to me. So
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
it's not that bad.
Solid.
It's a solid piece of poop. Sure, it's not diarrhea. You're right. Oh, so
I wouldn't say that.
That's a little intense.
man, dog, he's like the problem. Like, so this feels like a pretty old show where everything's happening as in service of the plot. The plot of the two main characters being big music stars. Instead of making the characters like you wanting to root for them, they make it so this happens so to advance them being stardom. So the side effect of that is I don't give two shits about ending the characters. Like near the end, they start to develop the characters somewhat. You start to learn about the backstories of Carol, where she was a refugee, she was abandoned, and she went to Mars and became a refugee. And you start to learn that near the end of the first core, and it was only until like episode 14 where she meets her father, and that actually one of probably the better scenes of the whole anime, where she, throughout the episodes, they start learning. Spoilers, sorry. They start.
Yeah, I'm behind. I only got up to episode 12, so.
Anyways, whatever. This is my anime, so I can talk about whatever I want. Sorry. So yeah, so they start. And actually, very somewhat touching talk. And actually, I thought it was very good because it made me start caring about Carol. But the problem is, there's still Tuesday, and Tuesday fucking sucks. And like the fact that
Wow.
So, their big problem. So that like half the season also focused on this American Idol spinoff, and so sorry, I'll hold on my plate. So they made Tuesday fucking dumb as bag of rocks, so she can care about this fucking soccer for no good reason. She cares about this fan, the early fan they had, but she sacrificed her feelings with Carol because he cares about this person she's met a couple of times, all in service of leading her to get.
She just didn't know how to deal with it. Like Sibel was crazy as fuck. Like
Absolutely.
I wouldn't know how.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
fucked up.
but instead of like ignoring her, she spends a whole episode trying to find her for some reason instead of being.
Probably she
with
was
Carol.
scared of her and was worried
She
she
was
was
right.
gonna kill herself or something.
No, she
Yeah.
didn't think that. She thought, oh, this friendly person is feeling bad. I should feel sympathy for her, even though I don't know anything about her. And like,
She didn't want to have this crazy person's death like be halfway responsible for it. Like
no,
that sounded
No,
understandable.
that was
to
fine
me.
with me.
I want to think that because she's dumb, and they make her dumb to lead her to get injured by this suicidal person. Yeah. Also, that is suicide was so like everything also like notch all the way up. So everything like they also so like because this is set in the future, they have to have everything like some facsimile to something some current thing. Like they have the American Idol knockoff. They have their
Right.
the fact that they're major label companies, but everything's like it's so badly done. Like
Oh, come on.
all the American Idol contests are like jokes. Like when
I thought that was fun. Maybe it's because I'm into Eurovision, but I loved all of the gimmicky bullshit.
Yeah,
that was
I enjoyed that
part
stuff.
of that song contest.
Me too.
It was dumb. Remember that montage of the American Idol contestants that took like literally like 5 minutes of this terrible jokes? Like I was like,
Yeah,
that was pretty
so
good.
they were. No, it wasn't good because I was a minute and I was like, oh, they're doing this montage. This is not fun, but whatever. But it kept going and going for like 3 minutes of badly choreographed jokes. And I was like, why is this still happening? Why do they think this show's funny when absolutely none of it is funny? The most funny part about it is how unfunny it is. So it's like they're doing all these things to progress the story of two people to become stars in this world that's all about AI driven songs.
Music, yes.
Music. But they're doing none of it that makes like none of it to flesh out. So they want to try to flesh out this world, but none of it's interesting because it's just future modern world. And like they're starting to get somewhat interesting with the political stuff. And how they're making how Mars is different from Earth, but it's way too late because they're not. And it's like I still don't care about anything that's happening because none of it's fun and none of it's interesting. And the only thing I like so far is somewhat of Carol past season like 6 once they start making her a character I care about.
What about the episode where they performed at Cydonia, that big music festival?
Yeah.
I thought that episode
That
was
was a
great.
really good episode.
Where they were literally getting like shit chucked at them because nobody wanted to see them, and I thought that was a great episode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, I guess.
I do agree with you to the extent that
I thought the Beyonce knockoff was kind of cool. She was like sexy character, I guess. I don't know. Good, Tuna.
I'm gonna agree with you with the character development was a bit derailed when they started the whole American Idol part.
Yeah.
And so it was how many episodes?
That 0.
Like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So,
I think up until the Cydonia festival, I think the character development worked for me, and then I didn't like that they went for the whole contest thing, even though it was fun. But right after that, it picked up again for me. Like after episode 12, the last couple of episodes were pretty great.
I think they developed Angela's character pretty well during that music contest thing. Like she became less one-dimensional.
True.
I'm evil. And I appreciated that. Like I thought she was going to be very cartoon villain, like from Jim or whatever, and she actually has some depth to her, involving like her family relationships and stuff. And man, some of the animation I really, really enjoyed.
It's
like
so good.
Yeah.
Some of the dancing. Like, what's the name of the influencer guy?
Piotr. It's like
Piotr?
Peter, but like
That's Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one song you did with the flashy dancing. It looked really good. Like you should go back to that and just look at the frames. It's super nice.
It's very good. Yeah.
Super elaborate.
Like I'm just blown away. You didn't like it, Pop. Like that's the thing where like.
Why would I like it? None of it's fun. Like none of it's just like.
You didn't like the Mermaid Sisters?
Yeah, come on now.
Song?
Yeah,
like that song was good.
The questionable, at least maybe somewhat racist song. No. Okay, let's talk about the music, guys.
No, it's just a bunch of swear words. Like, how's that racist? I'm not talking about OG Bulldog.
I mean, yeah, you want to talk about OG Bulldog a little bit? We can have that conversation about.
So another problem is they have a anime about these singers, and none of the music is very good.
Okay,
that's probably a problem.
That's not true.
when I thought the best song of the whole show so far is from that Peter guy, Peter. But they're up against Carol and Tuesday, and I thought their song was actually pretty terrible. But they won because they had more heart, or I would have listened to their song more. I thought, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. I don't know. I think like the Angela, her music is decent at best pop music. Okay. Yeah, this is
her actor, her English voice actor has a really good singing voice though.
Yeah, it's like it's decent and like, but it's like none of the songs are. I don't know. Obviously, it's hard to have when
well, maybe her songs are not super great because it's done by AI. And no, I don't think they're really trying to go for that. But they are very commercial, though. I would agree with you on that. It is very like modern pop.
And I get how the Carol Tuesday their songs are more like melodramatic
indie stuff.
Indie,
yeah. You got the FKA Twigs like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? But I don't know, guys, and also it's not a father's show, obviously, but the fact that it's a Netflix show, so you can't have, even though the songs are all in English, but then it's like Japanese voice actors are completely different,
and it's not out yet.
Yeah, that's also not the fault of the anime, but it's a very weird situation. So
yeah,
and because the singing is on English, you kind of need to watch it dubbed because I'm assuming the singers will be the same as the people actually voicing it.
I believe so. Yeah.
So it seems like the best way to watch it will probably be dubbed. But obviously we don't have that right now because Netflix sucks.
I just wanted to add the discrepancy between Pjorder's like Japanese voice, who is Shota Aoi, and his English singing voice. Like they are not anyway similar.
Perfect pitch. Perfect. Identical, basically.
But the thing is, I like his English singing voice a lot more, and it's not annoying anime voice acting. I actually liked his performance, so it sucks that I don't like Carol and Tuesdays as much. And I guess because they have to so grow, and because they're rough diamonds, so they have to.
The rough diamond.
Get spoilers in the latest episode. They have to get a producer, and they practice a lot. So they're getting better. They had their training montage. But it's a problem. I think. I don't know. Like again, it's of this story that I think it's bad. So overall, I think the anime is bad.
Well, like every episode starts off with that intro where they talk about like, oh, it's a moment that changed like the world forever and blah blah blah. And there isn't really any hint into how like their music is going to have some crazy event happen yet. So yeah, it does feel kind of like it's meandering along from like here's them at a music festival, here's them trying to make a music video, here they are. It's like, I wish it would be a little more focused, I guess I would say.
It's hard to when they have all these characters you're trying to have stories about with the Angela and the Tuesday's mom and how she wants to become president, and then we start learning maybe she's not the most maybe she's a little bit shady, wink wink.
I promise I'm gonna all the illegal immigrants.
Did no trading with Earth.
Yeah. That was some wild shit.
Rebel.
I was like, but that was interesting when the guy was like, we each promised no more free trading with Earth. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Why would they not have trading with Earth? Isn't Earth like, is Mars a colony of Earth? And that stuff like this is
what
very
if Carol and Tuesday unite the planets?
That's probably what the story is. Yeah.
We're going back to shitty singing and city funny routines.
Save the world.
Oh, we're going back to this producer guy who's fucking has an axe and he's swinging his axe around because that's funny. Oh, we're going to this ghetto where all the characters in the ghetto is black. Ooh, that's a little bit. How about not do that, you guys? But what do I know? It's only
I guess I haven't seen that episode yet. So.
No, it's the latest episode.
It's like favelas. They're all Brazilian.
Okay, yeah, it's probably more Brazilian
Yeah.
analog, but still, it's so questionable. I don't know. I didn't like it. Again, I think it's not shitty, obviously. I just don't think it's my cup of tea. However, I still don't think it's a good anime. I don't think I like it less than some guys like it.
Okay.
I would say that like episode 12, which is technically like the end of the first cour, and they like resolve the song contest thing. It's not a very good, like, satisfying ending, and I still need to, before I feel like I can really judge the show all the way, I feel like I need to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I'm having fun enough episode to episode, even though, like, a lot of the episodes where they do have musical performances that are animated really nicely, like, every other shot is a static character, like, reacting to the fancy
They definitely had a
animation,
repeat.
they're just sitting there, not animating at all.
And they definitely had a repeat or two of that shot as well.
So, like, it's not super fancy, but it might end up being good eventually. Maybe. I don't know. I'm having an okay time watching it, but I think the Netflix form really do the show a lot of good.
Yeah.
Like being able to binge it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's an anime about the story. Yeah, it's definitely more bingeable for sure. And because it's a show about the story, it's definitely, like Mary said, it wholly depends on how it ends. If it ends shittily, I think that makes it much worse. But
yeah, it'll feel like a waste.
Exactly. But if they somehow manage to come back and do good with how they end, and they do promise whatever they say at the beginning, where Carol and Tuesday changed the world, blah, blah, blah. If they actually do something with that, then yeah, it would change my tone a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you.
I'm hopeful. I'm positive.
So I'll give it a thumbs in the middle, I guess. Not be too mean, Albie. I don't want to keep shitting on his recommendations, even though they're never good.
That's not true at all, sir.
We can go back to the history, but we don't have time.
Okay. Another time, we will go back and make sure we'll settle this once for all. Who is leading the pack?
I'm really sorry, you guys. This is too long. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So okay, So we're a couple weeks into the summer season. So some of us may have watched some shows already that's been airing. One of the show I've been watching, Magical Senpai. It's about this junior high school student who loves magic, and she gets her what's the term for somebody lower in the grade? Not senpai, but kohai. Kohai. So she managed to get a kohai to join her magical club, and then they share fun magical adventures.
I bet they do. All right.
So this is one of those mangas, animes where they have a fun bit for a little bit, and then it ends with usually a lewd shot on the lady character, and that's it. So that's pretty much it. It's
okay.
The lady character is kind of quite attractive, I guess, if you're into that big boobs anime characters type of thing, who sometimes wears a magical hat. So there you go. Moving on.
I love magical hat.
I don't know. Why? I thought you. Okay. Albie. I don't know.
Yeah. Hello.
What you watching from the next season?
Right now I'm watching this podcast, but I'm also watching Dr. Stone.
The latest WSJ adaptation about people who all got turned into stone, and this guy trying to figure out how to unturn them into stone.
Yep.
How do you like it?
Very good. So far it's been interesting. I think the plot setup is pretty interesting, and then I think the characters all are neat. It's going somewhere. I like it so far. Let me tell you something. It's been slim pickings this season coming up, so this is one of those bright spots for me. I think Dr. Stone's a lot of fun and interesting.
What about Firefighter? Is that interesting or fun?
Do you like fighting fires physically?
Not
Have
really.
you ever grappled with a
Punching
fire? That's what the show is. Yes, that's
Okay.
it's like kind of a shonen jumpy like physically fight fire. You have magical abilities, fight these fires physically. And it's pretty neat. It's a weird idea. I've been enjoying it a lot, and they delayed it, I believe, or they put it on like hiatus. Like I don't know what the kind of weird situation happened with that.
There might not be more of it, but
it's really good. I really, really like it. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
okay, we'll talk about it more next podcast. Tuna, you're watching Astro. You watched some Astro Lost in Space. What is that? Why do you like it? What's up?
I've not seen an episode of yet.
Okay. Moving on. Mary, Vinland Saga. So I heard very good things about this. Like maybe hyperbole, but maybe not. They aired like the first 3 episodes together, and then the couple weeks they're not airing anything because they want to all 3 at once. Yeah, there hasn't been anything since this first few episodes. So I heard a lot of good things. Is it very good?
It's interesting. I read some of the manga for it a while ago, which I promptly forgot. I mainly started reading it because it has an art style similar to Berserk, and I would say it's kind of similar in tone, and style so far to Berserk. It's a historical fantasy. It's about Vikings.
Vikings, the show
yeah.
on history.
No.
Oh.
Well, Leif Erikson is a character in the show, so that's kind of interesting. So they will have they'll talk about England fighting various Viking colonies that are set up in England.
Wait, For Honor? Is this you're talking about?
Yeah, she's
Kind
definitely
of.
talking about For Honor, my dog.
Oh.
So far, it's interesting. I think I've only watched 2 of the 3 available episodes, and it's another twin engine project. And the opening is actually done by Survive Said the Prophet, the band named that. They did one of the Banana Fish endings, like the second Banana Fish ending that I really enjoyed. So I enjoy their version of Screamo for this Vinland Saga opening. Screamo Vikings.
Man, I was really excited that was the Linkin Park band again. I thought for just a second I was like,
no, it's not
yeah,
that one,
Linkin Park.
I mean, it's similar in tone. If you like that one, you'd probably like this one too. But I mean, overall, I like the historical tone of everything. It's all building up. The main character is still a child right now. That'll end, I assume, by probably the 3rd episode. They're just setting up a lot of backstory stuff. The only part that really bothered me in the first episode, there's a part where the main character's dad performs CPR on someone. And I'm like, this is set in 1022. I'm pretty sure chest compressions were not invented as a way of reviving someone yet.
You don't know.
This is kind
The
of
Vikings were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they were very ahead of their time to bring up shit that was invented in 1958 or whatever. it was kind of an anachronism, but it's fine. I think later on it gets more fantasy, kind of like Berserk, like supernatural elements start showing up as well. So whatever, it can have CPR, it's fine. I'm enjoying it so far. It's interesting. If you're a historical nerd, you might like it. It's not about Japanese
Did
history
somebody
for
say
once, so
historical nerd?
yeah, I mean, I might force you to watch it, Albie, if you're not already. So there you go. Heads up.
Heads up. Yeah, it's also it's 24 episodes, so there you go. Boss of the manga is 22 volumes, so that's
that thing goes on forever. From what I remember, every time I would go and look at new manga, it'd be like, "Oh, a new episode of Vinland Saga's out." Jesus, that's been 12 years. It seems like so. Okay, that's neat.
So just like Berserk,
apparently, never ends.
Never ends, and Berserk.
There's a lot of boats in this too, so.
Oh no, I hate boats.
Yeah, so this will be the anime everybody's watching because it's the one good anime this season.
Wow. Okay. Just gonna discount Dr. Stone.
Okay, it's a prestigious anime this season because it's
Okay. Just gonna discount Firefighters.
I will discount
Okay.
the fucking
Okay.
anime about physically fighting
Physically fighting fires. Yeah, I know.
Yes, I will discount that, and that won't air another episode this season.
Don't you ever just want to grapple a fire though, Pop? Don't you just want to go up there and just put him in like a full Nelson, full Nelson, a 5-alarm fire, and then just choke slam it to the ground.
So that was our tease for the next podcast, where we're talking more about all these shows in depth in I don't know, a week. I thought it's probably like 4 weeks.
A couple weeks. I don't know. Fire Emblem is coming out.
We gotta get.
Yeah.
I approach
Firefighters, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, somebody has to play Magic, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
$50 grand real quick and then come back.
That's cool. Do that. That's fun.
So I probably said this at the beginning if I was a good podcast host, if I actually play in these podcasts at a time. But hey, Mary, you want to talk about the Sailor Moon quiz you helped run? You want to talk about
it? It was mainly my sister and
That-
my friend.
I said help.
running it, so I showed up. That was helpful, I guess.
You showed up.
You helped by promoting it on this very podcast.
Indeed. We get all of our viewers out
That's
there.
true. Maybe that helped a little. Maybe somebody was able to go. I hope. I really had a fun time. They had some vendors there selling cool stuff that I bought. Like I bought a Luna tote bag. I bought this crazy tuxedo mask, a Hey Go sticker that I don't know what to do with because it's too lewd. I don't know where to put that thing, but whatever.
Put it on your phone.
I might. I probably will. I had a ton of fun. She raised a bunch of money for charity, like over $2,500 went
Awesome.
to like the Rape Crisis Network of San Antonio. Like 2 other charities. There was a Girls in STEM charity and another one that I'm terrible and I can't remember. But if you go to SailorMoonQuiz.com, I think they are all listed on the website. And she's probably going to hold it next year again, too, around the same time, International Sailor Moon Day. So if you're in San Antonio, go ahead and show up. It was a ton of fun. Buy VIP because that bar and their attaching restaurant was really cool. I had some nice ramen. I was able to donate even more to charities with the system they have set up. Like it is a total nonprofit bar and restaurant. And whenever you spend any money, they give you like these wooden nickels that you actually place in these charity boxes at the entrance. So you can give even more to charity anytime you like want to buy a fruity drink or whatever. And that was really cool. I wish Austin had something like that. I guess Austin is just like too commercial or something because I would go there all the time. And the quiz was really fun too. I actually ended up getting 4th place, even though I didn't study or anything.
Mary, come on, you gotta get in the standings at least. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, my sister got into Sailor Moon because I forced her to watch it with me when we were little growing up. So there you go.
It's a beautiful thing.
The name of my team was the Outer Austin Senshi, and I still like that team name. It was clever. Dang it. Like they have the inner Senshi and the outer Senshi, and yeah, the outers are the coolest. So whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very cool. Oh, I also won this in a bonus question.
Your scar on your arm? Oh.
No, how rude. This.
Wow.
Sailor Jupiter bobblehead thingy.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Can't get her to bobble very well, but whatever.
Well, I'll say this much. It seemed like a lot of fun, and if I knew more about Sailor Moon, I would go. But I don't have any idea about anything, and I would lose immediately. So, it seemed like a lot of fun.
It was still... You can go in a group, and it was very fun, even if you don't know shit about Sailor Moon.
Albie?
Yeah.
No, we're not going together. I'm sorry. I can't do that with you.
Aww.
Now, if we can get Zachary, our
Sean
friend,
down like that.
We can get tuna. Let's get tuna. Let's get Zachary. We'll go as. We'll have to make up a funny name.
For a good cause.
Yeah, just buy my
Good.
flight and I'll be there.
All right. Well, if I win the lottery someday, we're going.
Awesome. Sweet. I actually watched Sailor Moon when I was 3 or 4. Like it was one of the first anime that aired on a channel here. It was like Sailor Moon, and a year after that was Pokemon, I think. Those were the first couple.
How was the German dub?
Yeah.
It was great. Actually, I remember the German OP because everybody in elementary school knew the lyrics
Wow.
to the Sailor Moon OP.
The German opening is very good. It's
Yeah.
techno.
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
fantastic.
90s techno. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If we
German
go,
OP are very underrated.
we have to dress
Yeah.
as tuxedo mask. That's all I'm saying. I'll dress up as tuxedo mask. It'll be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. One awesome thing we talked about on this podcast.
Wow. Just gonna do
Doodling.
Carol and Tuesday like that, huh?
I 100% will. Whenever I get the chance to dig on Carol and Tuesday,
I
I
bet you
will.
will.
I'll
Get
promise you that. When I run for president, that will be my campaign promise. Fuck Carol and Tuesday. Vote for me 2032. So moving on to some other bullshit. So this company called Progress Technologies. That's a
Oh
very
boy.
pretentious name for your company. But anyways, they launched a Kickstarter to make a Naruto, to publish Naruto and a play some. They wanted to like, hey, get Naruto out to the public. They want more people to watch Naruto or read Naruto. So they decided to make this ebook reader that specializes in reading one manga because that's what everybody wants. Their ebook to only do one thing. So they had a Kickstarter for this ebook reader, that had all of Naruto in it. And
That's
they
not
want
the craziest thing about this reader, though.
yes. What is the craziest thing?
Probably the fact that it's over $500.
Yeah, you think?
Probably.
I don't know. I think the realistic feeling pages that it is that the
Yeah,
thing.
They added paper so you can like flick through it, even though it's an e-reader, and why?
Yes, why and they advertise like this is the most like sharpest image
Sharp.
e-reader
High
available.
resolution. Yeah.
There's no ghosting of the previous image, and it's double spread like an actual manga.
Gross.
It's I mean that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
It's kind of cool.
$500.
Yeah, that fact.
$500.
500.
And that it only has Naruto in it. That's also.
It's only Naruto? But why?
I mean,
But all of Naruto.
there is an SD card slot, so theoretically they could sell like other cards for other series later
Like
on.
Boruto.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Here's
only
your
other
Naruto
one.
card.
I mean, it's possible you could hack the firmware on it and illegally load up some scans on there, which makes it seem a little more reasonable. But the way the jacket cover is designed, it's this big ass Naruto. Like there's Sasuke and Naruto, one on each side, and it's a little. I wouldn't want to be seen. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an elitist or whatever, but I don't want people thinking that I paid $500 just to watch Naruto.
It's a collector's
Naruto.
item.
So
Yeah.
you know what the absurd thing is?
Oh, also, it uses 4 AAA batteries. It doesn't come with a rechargeable battery built in or anything either.
4.
For what?
Look, okay.
It's 2019.
Since, as they say, since repeatedly charging a battery gradually degrades its capacity and performance drops dramatically after a few years, we avoided a built-in battery and adopted dry cell batteries for the power source.
I.e., they don't want to have to support this thing after it comes out.
Just drop it.
so
Pretty much.
they just, yeah.
So the most absurd thing is that over $500 price, it's just for like Kickstarter early bonuses. Apparently,
So kind of retail at. Give me the MSRP.
So
yeah, if you bought it in the store.
Their current. So I'm going to do some quick math because even though their lowest tier one is in the full price, so times. Let's see, where's the times button at? It's over here. So that's only 75%. So if I do 1. No, so 75. So if I do 1.25, yes, 1.25.
Sure.
Okay, so it retails 75%. So apparently it retails for actually over $800. So it's 68,000 yen for 25%. That's for 25% off. That's 75% of the price. Is 68,000 yen. So dog, come on. So, anyways,
what?
This is very absurd. So, hey, look, man, you need to get your Naruto any way you can. Okay?
I get you.
I gotta get my Naruto fix. Okay,
man, I get you.
Even if it's shitting on an airplane, I gotta get my Naruto. So, I got my ebook
Don't tell
reader.
people that.
Look, I'm always on airplanes shitting on them. So,
but would you pay $800 for a Fist of the North Star?
Some people say
I'd rather pay for that than Naruto, but
some people say Mile High Club. I say Mile Dump Club. That's how I call it.
Okay.
Because I'm always dumping on airplanes.
No. Always, huh? Always? Always.
Always. Whenever I'm on an airplane, it's because I'm shitting on it. Moving on. So, anybody else have anything to say? No.
No, move on. Good God.
Too much money.
Funimation and Rice are partnering together to announce new animes, old animes, you might add.
Old news. New anime. It's old.
I don't want to discourage old anime, but it's old anime. They're announcing a partnership to add more anime to Funimation's streaming service. It's always good because hey, streaming's pretty cool. Allow people to watch more stuff. So So the animes, I guess I should say, as actually, Mary, you say it, so you actually know what they are.
like when they announced this, they announced it at Anime Expo.
Yes.
The titles that they have announced so far are Revolutionary Girl Utena, which that is available to watch legally in very low quality resolution YouTube files. So it'll be neat to have a better version of that streaming. Gravitation, which is a bad late 90s yaoi thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. All right.
It's pretty bad, but whatever. Boogie Pop Phantom, which is the previous version of Boogie Pop, so you might be interested in that, Albie.
Boogie Pop.
Junjo Romantica, which is, I think, a historical, it's set, I think it's almost
Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
I don't remember, because I never actually watched it, so my bad. Yakitate Japan, which is the wacky bread anime.
The bread anime?
Yeah. People like that show. And also Sweet Blue Flowers, which I have never heard of before because I'm the worst.
It came out in 2009, so that's why. It's not old enough for you. So.
Okay, yeah. This was... Oh, apparently it's a Yuri show, so that makes sense. With the title.
Yeah! Now I'm interested.
Balance it out a little bit. You got a yaoi, Yuri, you know?
Yuri, yeah. A little bit for everybody.
A little yang, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Nozomi Entertainment is Right Stuff, which is an anime store. This is their anime publishing label. So it's cool to have that.
It's bizarre. What a collection. What an absurd collection of different shows. They just here you go.
Now, I was bone to pick with Right Stuff. So I bought something from them a long time ago.
Oh no!
But then when I bought from it, then they kept sending me anime catalogs every 4 months.
I like those things.
Yeah, but I was still living with my mother at the time, so then I'm gonna give me the anime catalogs. I didn't know how to make it stop, so they kept coming for years. I can't do this. Stop it, right stuff.
I can't read the unsubscribe text.
Nowadays, now I'm on my own. Like, sure, getting all the fucking shitty anime catalogs, but back then, anyways, fuck right stuff. That's all I'd say.
I want to know how that interaction went. Now I don't want to know how that. What's that conversation like?
Do any of these shows you actually want to try to watch? When they start
Boogie Pop
coming out.
I want to see Utena again for sure.
Also, probably Utena.
I want to watch the Brett anime.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, the promo art for this one, Anime News Network. I want to watch this Brett anime now. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, seems cool.
This guy's an afro. Okay. This Brett is attacking this person. I'm assuming the main character. I'm assuming this is like a fight show. Shonen show.
Firefighters.
It's kind of similar to Shogeki no Soma or whatever. So yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
I know you do.
Thank you. You know my taste, which is perverted anime stuff. I love to see a food naked. Is what I'm trying to say.
New Akira? Is that what I'm reading here in this news story? New Akira?
No, what? You don't want to link one on? Okay, fine.
It's time to move, son.
Fair enough. Sorry. New
Storm's coming.
So
storms are coming.
Sorry.
Storms are blowing in. Oh, it's time to go.
The Anime Expo, they had a Akira panel and they announced a bunch of stuff. What did they announce, Mary?
Yeah. Otomo was at Anime Expo. Yep. They announced they're doing a total new adaptation of Akira, like the comics. They're doing some kind of animated version of it again now.
Okay.
I assume it's going to be a TV series, but they didn't really say what it is yet. So
I assume it's a movie, kind of like how they do with Evo.
I mean, they weren't able to put his entire manga in one movie, so I doubt they would try and do it again.
That's why they make more than one movie.
Movies. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Do we know who's doing that, or?
Still think it's very early on. So
yeah, there's no studio attached still.
Sunrise is doing.
Oh, okay.
What did Sunrise do? Give me one name.
Gundam.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe robots.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop, apparently.
Yeah, they did Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, that's Studio Bones.
I think Studio Bones did the Cowboy Bebop movie.
Okay.
And that's about when they were created.
Okay.
I think they're related somehow.
Sunrise might own them partly or something.
Did they cook grease? Really? Cook grease? Yeah,
they also announced they're doing a 4K remaster of the original Akira movie at this panel. But yeah, new animated Akira, which is good because the live action movie just got indefinitely delayed again. Because the director is going to direct Thor 4 right now.
So Marvel movies. What do you think about female Thor? What are we feeling?
Wait for.
I mean, maybe now Natalie Portman's character might not be garbage. So
absolutely.
If the movie is half as good as the logo, then I'm very excited.
Absolutely, I'm with you. God, that's a good logo. Damn.
They also showed a teaser for this new movie that Otomo is working on called Orbital Era, which is about like kids living in a space colony. The teaser is basically all CG, but the character artwork they put out looks interesting. I don't know. I hope it's not all CG because I wouldn't be into that. Like, he's great at 2D animation. It could be neat. It seems very similar to Gundam. I don't know. There's not much information, not much info so far. Yeah, takes place in the near future on a space colony under construction. Action adventure story for some young boys surviving in this peculiar environment and society as they are tossed around by fate. the reality found in mankind's future will be depicted through their perspective.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, kind of good to me. This is also being made in production with Sunrise.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
And the last thing they announced at this panel was a big partnership with Kodansha USA. They're going to basically publish every single comic that he brought out in his lifetime over here in like a complete works project is what they're calling it. So that'll be interesting. His comics are neat. Domu is good.
Could I
so
interest
is
you in
Akira.
a Otomo ebook reader?
All right.
No.
Huh?
All right.
Huh?
I mean, I guess probably. I buy everything else he does, so whatever.
Sure.
Why is this skateboard in space, Mary?
I assume they have some kind of artificial
shredding.
gravity in their colony. Or maybe low gravity would make skateboarding even more extreme.
Radical.
Think about the airtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing airtime.
You can do like a 9,000 instead of just a 900. So there you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like 30 spins, all right? Yes, that's like 30 spins.
So yeah.
Wait, maybe not. Wait, so 360 is 360 one spin, but
Yes.
Yeah, it's one spin. So 30
But-
spins would be 10,800.
yeah, but why do they call it 900? Do they call it 900?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like you face one way when you go off, and then the other way when you.
So it'd be 25 spins is a 9,000.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough.
Sure. Yes.
I'm sorry, Mary. Good.
I'm done. Like, I think it's cool all of this a new Akira adaptation is coming out. Hopefully in 2020, because that would make sense because that's when Akira takes place in 2020 with the Tokyo Olympics. So the timing is right.
Who's ready for some
Like-
giant babies? All right.
Yeah,
Let's
getting
go.
squished in the folds.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome
That was
everyone
very
to the
smart.
Tokyo
official
Olympics. Prepare yourselves for an unbelievable Olympics. First off, we have this giant psychic baby. Run for your life.
Up
It's
against
okay.
Mario.
The giant space laser will take it out. It's fine.
That's fair. We definitely have a giant space laser, right? We definitely, right? Good. Okay. Just gotta make sure. Mario will be there. It's fine. Mr. Mario will take care of it.
And Goku too, right?
And Goku. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's got it. He fought Janemba. It's fine. Is it time to
No,
get
it's
sad?
not fine.
Is it time to get?
Poppy has disappeared. I
Oh,
don't
no.
know what's up with that.
Oh.
He's disconnecting or something. Does internet die?
Well, do you? I mean,
He's not online.
the next
Yeah.
the next news story is not nice. Do you want to wait or?
I mean, it's more than anime news. Like this
Yeah.
is national, international
It was-
news.
yeah, it was
so
on
I
my
assume
local-
Everyone's heard about it.
It's my local stations and stuff too, so we can wait a minute.
Yeah.
Pause for a moment. We'll pause for
I
reflection.
mean, he might have ducked out because it's just a horrible story, and I mean, everybody
I
knows
don't-
what happened
yeah.
to Kyoto Animation and how many people have died, and it's just
Yeah, it's terrible.
fucking awful. Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised. I
Like-
think by the amount of people that like it became a national news story. Like that's it's good that we can all come together. I think when something like this happens.
I don't want to come together. I would rather shit went on like normal and those
Yeah.
people were still
Yeah.
alive.
Well,
like,
no, yeah, but I'm just
fuck
saying.
all that. Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Pop is back.
Sorry, we started talking.
we
about,
kind of had to. I don't know what
Kyoto
else we could have done.
animation. Yeah, I thought maybe you left because it was a downer and it's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, you pointing it down for?
my sadness and also my internet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's.
I mean, it's an awful thing. Yeah, there's nothing else you can say besides that's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the impacts on the industry
Massive.
are
They're still
obviously
investigating after a man set fire
terrible.
to an anime.
But I'm definitely, especially right now, just more concerned with the impact on the people that worked there and their relatives. And
Yeah.
Also,
just
don't.
how
Yeah.
awful
I hope
that
the conversation isn't about the anime that aren't coming out in time,
Yeah.
and about the families that lost people, and also about safety measures at studios. I read that some folks at the studio wanted to preserve some kind of traditional environment at the building, and it was a pretty old one, and so they didn't have modern safety routes and stuff to. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, no, like you can't. I mean, of course, you want to try and plan for the best, and you can't really anticipate something like that happening. But yeah, it's so terrible, and I cried about it the other night. Like, the voice actress from K-On! I'm terrible and I can't remember her name right now, but she has a radio program, and there's a video on YouTube of her talking about like her experience with Kyoto Animation and how they trusted her to like pull off a lead role, and how I it's I feel so terrible for everyone that happened, and that they have to deal with this thing now, like, and just losing that workplace, and the feelings of people that are left afterwards too.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't even imagine how terrible that is.
Yeah,
is it
34? Yeah, there was 34 confirmed deaths, but there was still like over 70 people in the office. So there's a lot of people who were probably going to be traumatized for life because of it.
Yeah, like the internet's the internet, so I've read some super harrowing stuff about what exactly went on that I don't necessarily want to share here, but it's rough for everybody involved.
Yep.
Like, it's
I think the only thing I would say is, I don't know, it's got to reflect they made a lot of wonderful shows. I think looking at that stuff is what I look to. That's all you can do. All you can do.
I mean, that is a great thing about art. Just, it's there in the world, and it helps. But man, now, like, anytime I watch a show, I'm just gonna be thinking about the people that aren't there anymore, and it's a fucking bummer.
Yep. Well, yeah. So
I'm sorry.
Let me ask everybody, favorite.
No, don't
show.
apologize.
Favorite show. That's what I would ask. Before we go, what's your favorite Koyani show? Koi. What do you think? Pop cans, sir.
I mean, yeah.
Is it Clan Ad? I mean, is it that? Is it Clan Ad? Is that what you're?
There's some very good recent stuff like Shuranda and Sound E4 I'm very like, but obviously like one of the second anime I ever watched was the military of Kurocha. Can you say it, Mary?
Haruhi's.
Yes, I mean Haruhi. I mean
that I forgot they did that. That little anime probably literally got me into anime. I love that anime so much, and
I didn't know you were a fan of Haruhi.
I love that.
Sit down and talk about Haruhi.
I love that anime so much. Again, the dub of it, I watched the dub of it because it's the second anime I watched. So that and Full Metal Alchemist, my anime I like dubbed, and I watched dub. But I fucking love that show, and
it's my favorite. It's up there.
Again, it's the reason why I got an anime. I might not be here if it wasn't for that anime. So it really does suck. Yeah.
I love Haruhi very much. Also, oh my god, Well, Endless 8 I don't love so much, but most of Haruhi I love.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's...
Like you said, pros and cons. And also that spinoff.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tuna, what's your favorite Kyoani?
I can't decide between. There's so much good stuff. Nichijou. I like
yeah.
Sound of Phonium.
God, Nichijou.
Yoka.
Oh my god, they really had a catalog, huh? I forgot about they made Nichijou. Huh. Violet Evergarden, clearly, right? Mary, that's your favorite, isn't it? Everybody?
I'm terrible, and I still haven't watched it except for like Sakuga clips. So
That's fair.
I'm gonna be lame and say K-On!
Yeah,
Because
K-On! Sure.
I really, really loved K-On! A whole lot. Like, you know me, the anime idol stuff, like, and all of those songs in that show, like the openings and the endings are great still. But later this week, I do want to watch A Silent Voice finally.
Yep.
All right, they did that.
That recently got added to Netflix, so now I have an easy way to watch it. And from what I've heard about that show, that might become my favorite thing they've ever done. So I'll see. I'll check back in next time. But yeah, Lucky Star. I really loved that too.
Did anyone watch Beyond the Boundary? I have always heard that something about that show.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I liked it. It's okay, but it's a show where I think if there was more anime, I probably would have liked it more. But it ended in the middle, so it's like I don't think it's really worth watching. But I liked it for what it was.
Okay. I mean, the disappearance of Haruhi is like the best anime movie I've ever watched. I mean, legitimately incredible. I wept. That was a great movie.
I did not know they did Silent Voice. I did.
They have an extensive catalog. I mean, really.
I didn't know they did so much anime that I really love. So yeah, look at me. But yeah,
yeah, it fucking sucks. And
maybe this year, instead of doing a first watch, since the next season's gonna be a little slim, we can do a K-On! Show if you guys would like.
Kyo retrospective.
Yes.
That would be,
that would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, like, you know, like all the materials for all these shows, I don't know, they might be gone, and they have multiple buildings, so who knows exactly what was lost. But the president has been in interviews and saying a lot of stuff has been lost. And yeah, he even said like they might not even rebuild the building, like turn it into like a memorial park.
A memorial park. That
I think that sounds like that.
It's probably a good idea.
Smallest and first studio building public park with a monument. Exactly. But yeah, sorry, Albie, you didn't. I don't think formally said your answer, but
it's probably Haruhi. But I can also come up with a second one, and it's Violet Evergarden is very good. Everyone should watch that.
You know,
you don't believe me, but
I didn't give it a fair chance, so I can't say anything.
Well, you might in a few weeks.
Well, I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah, I think everybody, you know, if you're just hearing about this news, give them a watch. They made a lot of really great shows over the years and have had a number of producers, directors that have done some really amazing work. So just, you know.
And I know, like, Sentai Filmworks is doing a GoFundMe right now, but so far they haven't really talked to Kyoto Animation themselves yet. Like, they are hoping they can get the money to the workers and their family members. I know there's a way you can buy like digital images from Kyoto Animation, and that money goes directly to them. Crunchyroll is doing a thing where they're collecting messages to give over to people there. As soon as there's some kind of like official outreach thing as well, I will definitely mention it on this podcast and probably my Twitter too. I didn't really talk about it on Twitter just because I don't
No,
know. I
yeah.
feel bad talking about it, period, because I'm just some nobody. Like it, they get. I don't know. It's awful, and
Yeah, it certainly was.
yeah.
And they probably have a ton of insurance, so it's like it's not necessarily a financial loss. Like obviously, huge the burden is not on the financial side. It's obviously on the toll and the human toll and
The human
emotion.
cost.
Yes, that's what really matters is the people that died and who will and the families and people who were in the fire who still survived will be affected. Even the people who are still injured from the fire today, which is many. Yeah, it's I don't know, a very very sad thing to happen for a senseless reason. People don't need to speculate the reason why. That's not what's important. It's what happened.
Yeah, it's finding,
and the cost that should not have happened.
Yep. Well,
I don't know.
not to end on a bummer,
Sorry.
but yeah,
Yeah.
if you would like to
Yeah.
donate or anything like that, certainly check that out.
No, yeah, but I think trying to buy from their official store would be
Yes.
probably the best way to get money directly.
Yep.
If you want to, of course.
Watch one of the shows and or no, buy a show. How about go buy one
I
of the
mean,
DVDs? I would help. a little
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
watch.
doing anything like watching official streams or
Yep.
buying discs like
Yeah.
new, they do get money from that as well.
Yep.
So whatever.
Whatever you can
Yeah.
do to help. There's lots of avenues out there. If you don't know, just do a quick Google search. There's lots of going to be lots of avenues for that in the coming weeks and months. So certainly be involved with that. And I think that's all you can really say.
Like if you look at the list, they're probably like the studio in the mid the 2000s that they probably helped define anime in the 2000s anime, like with K-On! And
Yep.
Planned. Like they made the anime in the 2000s, and even today they're still making great anime. So it's hopefully they're able to keep making more anime for sure. They have their second studio building at the very least, so hopefully they can keep producing anime.
And
I'm
check
sure
out
they
the
will.
hashtags and stuff too.
Yeah.
I would recommend.
Like they
because-
were definitely a force for good in the anime industry in all
Yeah.
sorts of way. Like
Yep.
technically, they actually paid their people well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Not
was
by
actually
frame.
founded. Yeah, like they actually had salaries and like actual job like safety. Like they weren't contract workers. Like the studio was started by a lady and her husband, and they definitely went out of their way to like hire female talent that were like that. It sucks ass. Yeah,
Yep.
that somebody, I don't know, like they were such a great studio,
They
and
were.
hopefully, yeah, I hope
I
they
hope they
still
can rebuild.
exist too.
I hope
Yeah,
they.
yeah.
They,
Like
don't
I
think
don't
they
mean
will.
to be super past tensey,
go
but
away, yeah.
it's just yeah.
They will
it
definitely.
just
I think.
sucks.
I think the chances are they will rebuild. I think that's. Takes time.
I really
but-
hope
I
they
hope so.
do. I
Yeah.
hope they do, and not just for like selfish reasons, because I
Yeah.
love their character animation work. Like I'd
Mhm.
like to see them keep putting stuff out.
Yep.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, that would do. What? I'm sorry.
Huh? Okay.
That would do it for this episode of Visit Moe. Obviously, when we want to ended the podcast, save this for the end. So the ending will not be very good. But hey,
I don't know. I think it's all you can do is just give people the information they need to support these people, and that's all you can do.
yes, exactly. You said something right for once, Albie.
Wow. Okay.
So
One for
Even-
like 20 or what?
even a piece of poop falling out of an airplane lands correctly in those once. What? Okay.
I don't know what
So,
that
yeah.
means.
That
though.
old
That doesn't
chestnut.
happen.
So we'll see everybody next time. And hey, Mary, your catchphrase.
Go watch a Koani show. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch
Um,
some.
Even if it's free.
Not if it's free. Spend money.
No, he's talking about the show free. About the
Oh,
voice
I
given.
get you.
Yeah.
Ah,
Big voice.
free.
and it's over. And the stream. I'll be in the stream.
What?
End it.
Bye, everyone.
I don't know how. I'm working on it. We're gonna stop this.